Welcome to the Freakin Flax podcast. Guest number two, Rocko.
I got two friends.
You got two friends. Oh, it comes full circle. Rocko, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I know this isn't your first podcast, not your first rodeo, but I appreciate you taking the time to come to talk to me about your lengthy career at WAW.
Oh man,
You've been with us for a long time. What are we, 14 years?
14 years, yeah.
14 years as of this moment. One of the longest tenured people in WAW. Especially with FO out, Jersey Devil.
Jersey who?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Somebody that, of course, you get work outside of WAW, but primarily in WAW. So, longest tenured next to me. 10-plus club. I like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some questions about wrestling. Obviously, right? Standard questions about, you growing up, being a wrestling fan. We'll get into your lengthy 14-year career at WAW. You have a better memory than I do, so if anything pops up that that you want to talk about, you're welcome to. If I say something that is completely wrong, please correct me. Nobody remembers their character as much as the person does.
Jersey might know my character better than I do.
that could be true, but you remember the storylines and the matches.
Yeah, I do that.
All right, so first I want to start off with the character Rocko is from Salem, Massachusetts, correct?
Yep.
Are you the person from Salem, Massachusetts?
No.
No. Where were you born?
Concord, Mass.
All right. And then if you could pick any city to live in the world, where would it be?
Any city?
Any city. Would you go to Salem? Would you like to be a part of the...
No.
No? Not a fan?
God damn.
Have you ever visited Salem?
I've visited Salem. Okay, I have a little one. I have to...
That's true.
Anywhere... See, if I was younger, I'd probably say New York, but being there for WrestleMania, that's never happening. I'd probably say, like, Florida.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you always been a fan of wrestling?
Yes.
And what's your earliest memory of wrestling?
My earliest memory? Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Anything specific or just him in general?
Him in general.
Okay.
He was wrestling back in the 80s, so...
That's true. Was he your favorite growing up?
Yeah.
Did you like anybody else growing up?
Roddy Piper.
Awesome. Very cool. Anybody that you didn't like growing up? You're just like, you know what, I don't like watching this guy, or even as a kid, you're like, nah, I can't get behind him.
I guess in the 90s, that Neil, whatever his name was.
Oh, Nails, yeah.
That guy, I never got into him.
While you were growing up, did your favorites change? Because I know usually people change from a kid to a teenager to an adult.
Oh, man, yes. They changed.
So who ended up being your favorites as you got older?
I guess started with Hogan and Piper.
Yep.
I guess when I found WCW, when I went out of business, Chris Benoit.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent.
The Horsemen. Loved them all. Malenko before he was a Horseman, too. Most of my teen years was like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, those guys, because put on classic matches. I would say Kurt Angle, too, when he joined.
Yeah.
I know you love that right now.
Yeah, Kurt Angle.
And Jericho. Can't forget about Chris Jericho.
Right.
He's the man. He's going to be Kenny Omega.
I don't think he will, but it's going to be a great match. So as an adult, your favorites still Benoit, Jericho, anybody that you like now? Or
I do love Christian, but he can't wrestle anymore.
It's true.
I did love Daniel Bryan, because he reminded me of Chris Benoit.
Yep.
Sorry, Bree. We know where you're going soon.
Yep.
Kevin Owens, probably my favorite.
Excellent. Excellent.
Love Kevin Owens.
He is great. Now, how were you introduced to WAW, and did you ever attend a show before?
The story is, Gino Diabetes wanted Captain Vincent Zarella to join WWE.
Okay.
So me and Vinny went to see a show. Gino was trying to get Vinny in it. It ended up being me instead, because Vinny had no interest at that point. I think he was working a lot. He had a summer job and stuff. So I joined WAW.
So Gino wanted Vinny.
Yep.
Got you instead?
Yep.
How did you just jump into WAW as far as... Because when I was talking to Puma, something that I completely forgot about was Puma's first show was Lord of the Ring.
Yep.
He had just talked to people with the powers that be a week prior, just jumped into a special. So it's a little bit different than it is now. So I'm just kind of wondering when you jumped in, pretty much.
Pretty much, because I think it was Lord of the Ring or something like that.
Yep.
I came the week after, or they had a week off, or I showed up. Didn't really have to try out. Pretty much joined with Moops. Moops was there. I gotta remember. Sorry. I don't remember much of Moops' career. Tried out. We didn't really try out. We took a few bumps. He wanted to see how we could do.
Yep.
And they would fatigue your matches afterwards, like Jersey, Billy were the most helpful ones. They would go, hey, work on this and this. And then after the show, I think I'll give Billy more credit for this. He would, after they cleaned up, would help me bump more, show me the right way. So
Awesome. And now, what was the biggest shock or biggest difference to you from watching wrestling and actually performing it and actually doing it?
just in general, you know, being there with somewhat of our fans.
Yeah, our fans were us at the time. But
yeah. Just performing in front of our fans. I'm going to keep quoting that.
Yep.
That's a big difference there.
Okay. And your character. What is your character, the character of Rocko? How did it develop? What is it based off of?
Okay, let's see if I can remember this correctly.
Sure.
I got the name Rocko from Mick Foley when he gave The Rock the sock Rocko.
Oh, from This Is Your Life.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. There was Socko and then there was Rocko.
Yeah.
Okay.
The backstory of Rocko, I think it was Jersey made more of it because I really didn't have a really backstory.
Sure.
Because I was just starting. Rocko was crazy. He always talked to a pipe. We don't know why he was talking to a pipe. And then to skip a little bit, we'll go back to it at some point probably in this broadcast. Jersey, when we formed the Asylum, Rocko's background, the reason why he talked to a pipe was because in Jersey's character ways, Rocko was a complete murderer and carved pumpkins and he would knock about the pipe and carve pumpkins in them to send everybody a message.
Well, that is definitely interesting.
Yeah. Remember? Jersey was out of his mind back then, so let's not keep that.
Sure. No, I get it. The character of Rocko.
Yeah.
Has it changed over time?
Oh, a lot. Went from crazy to being a super good guy with the Dynasty, which he was crazy, but he more wanted to fight.
Against the Dynasty.
Yeah. And then when we formed the Three Kings, I don't remember what year that was, 2011, 2012.
Yep.
Rocko pretty much wasn't really, we found out he wasn't really crazy. He was just using people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then your character today, still the same kind of crazy, using people kind of character, or what?
Somewhat crazy because he likes to hurt people, but more of a mastermind, tries to figure out how to win gold.
Very nice. And then your styles. The style of wrestling that you do. You have a hardcore style.
Yep.
And you have a wrestling style.
Yep.
So is that taken from anybody in general? Is it just kind of, how did you come up with that kind of stuff?
Well, hardcore was Mick Foley-ish, and yeah, I'll go more Mick Foley. I didn't really watch Terry Funk.
Okay.
Him and his crazy stunts. And then wrestling style would be more like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero,
Awesome.
Jericho, Dean Malenko, Kurt Angle, like
Your favorites that you're
Yep.
talking about. Okay, cool. Now we're going to get into the year of Rocko, or the story of Rocko, really. Your first year. Talk about your first year. Your first match. Was it against Moops?
No, Moops and myself took on Toxic and Justin.
Okay.
It was Toxic. I think it was Justin, but I know Toxic was part of it.
Yep.
Horrible match.
Did you win?
No.
No.
Moops got super kicked and got lost to Justin. Yeah, Justin beat Moops.
Okay.
That started a feud with me and Moops, which was horrible.
Why was it horrible?
The blow-off was a hardcore match, and Moops thought it'd be fun to bring dog food and all the stuff that you don't use in a hardcore match.
Yeah.
And he got yelled at.
All right.
Thank God.
Your first legacy? You were in a...
U.S. Championship Battle Royal.
Yep.
Sick won it?
Yep.
Okay, good. I don't remember. I was out in like 2 minutes, so.
Yeah, okay. Other highlights from that first year?
There was the Amazerz. I was on
Circus?
Team F Circus.
Yep.
He got a pizza party, not title shots.
Yep.
And I got pizza in my face by Jersey. How about I last a little bit longer?
Doomsday, I think everybody was in the...
Yeah, the jumping for the flag.
Yep.
Which was crazy.
When did the Amazers officially come together? Was it right when Vinny joined, when Captain joined, or...?
Almost. He joined right for Hellbound.
Yep.
Hellbound match. Kind of teamed up on the way to Doomsday, like, was the form of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2004 was more... Well, beginning was more of the Amazers.
And then how was it teaming up with your best friend?
It was interesting, you know. Our gimmicks were way too different, but it was interesting.
True, they were completely different. You had a superhero,
Yep.
and then you had, I guess, a psychopath.
Yep.
In a way, but you were still a good guy.
Yeah.
People still loved what you did. You were still getting cheered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun teaming up with them. You know, it would have been better now when we have team titles around, but
That's true. That's true.
you know, that's a hint. come back.
And that, like I was telling Puma, I said, Puma, you know, it's crazy that you and FO were the first team champions in 2005 when WW had already been around for 8 years. And there were people like the Amazerz and Faux Q and a ton of other teams that could have held those titles. So then, any memorable matches that stick out to you from the Amazerz?
We feuded Payback. That was fun.
Yep.
I think that was a combination of both dealer, Jersey, Sin, or Bloody Billy Fox, or whatever you know him by at that time. Those were fun tag team matches. We fought Puma in a handicap match.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. We talked about that, yeah. How long did the Amazerz last for?
Till Freakin Flax showed up.
Well, right, yeah. So I know it was officially done by, like, you know, spring of 2004.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next thing I was going to talk about, you touched on it a little bit, was your pipe, Tric. You were talking about how it came about. Was it a situation where you were like, hey, I have this pipe, I want to use it? Now, the thing about people might not know is back then WWE was, because it had so few people on the roster.
Yep.
Everybody not only had their own moveset, but they had their own color scheme.
Yep.
Everybody had their own weapon.
Yep.
It was very individualized.
Yep.
So was it a weapon that was bestowed upon you, or was it something where they were like, we need a weapon, Rocko, what are you going to bring? And you brought the pipe.
No. I got a Fruiton. Me and Captain Vincent Zarello put it together, and we couldn't find where the piece of the pipe went.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, he goes, that should be your weapon, pretty much.
So Tric was part of a futon.
Yeah.
That somehow this futon stayed together without the pipe attached. That's amazing. That's great. During that time, before I jump into the jealousy with Freakin Flax, I remember everybody disliked the Max at the time. The Max was one of the worst wrestlers in WWE history. I think he was probably a nice guy. But because WWE was sort of an outlaw promotion where people were kind of doing their own thing, there wasn't really a lot of... There were storylines, but there weren't storylines to the matches. Yeah. So, not for everybody. I remember Lord of the Ring 2004, as soon as the Max came in, you and other people just jumped right on him and to take him out.
Yeah.
Do you remember, was there any heat specifically in regards to the Max, or was it just like, this guy sucks, we gotta get rid of him?
I can't confirm the whole rumor.
Yep.
Rumor was that he said he wasn't going to get eliminated by whoever was supposed to eliminate him.
Okay.
So pretty much ticked off the roster.
And everybody jumped on him.
Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts about the brutality pole? Because now in WWE we have a brutality wall, but that all stemmed from the fact that we had this giant pole in the middle, not in the middle of the ring, but right outside the apron.
Love it.
Yeah, I loved it too. What were some of your, I don't know about favorite memories, but just some thoughts and memorable spots with the, or moments with the brutality pole?
Moments and spots, oh man. I used to use it as a submission.
Bend somebody backwards?
Yeah.
Yep, very smart.
I don't think I've ever got busted open by the pole. I think I was lucky.
Yeah.
Moops in his 111.
Yes.
I never used the bar in it. I don't think I'm not that high flyer, so...
Yeah, those ones.
Might be Gino, too.
Yeah.
Or Neffo. You three might be the most. Jersey might have done something, but I can't remember his
He
name.
may have. Alright, so jealousy with Freakin Flax. So I showed up, and unbeknownst to me, see, I graduated high school with Vinny.
Yeah.
I graduated high school with you.
Yeah, we
But
did.
I didn't know you in high school. I didn't know you were part of my graduated class. I mean, I know that where we went to school, there was, I say only 1,200 people, but we just didn't know each other.
Yeah.
So when I showed up to WW, I saw, you know, Captain was the only other masked wrestler.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, then this just makes sense to have two people masked together. But at that point, you and him were just really just kind of starting.
Yeah.
And so there was a little bit of jealousy where, you know, you were feeling like, and this is my assumption, you were feeling like Vinny was trying to leave you to go with me because we were two masked wrestlers. And that jealousy in real life was put into WW. And that was pretty much how you ended up turning into a bad guy the first time, correct?
Yeah, that didn't last long.
So was it something that was pitched to you, or was it something that was just organic and it just kind of went that way? What do you remember?
I believe Billy pitched it to me.
Okay.
I want to say it was his idea. He's like, why don't we turn you heel and join the War Machines? I think it was the War Machines versus...
The Amazing League.
Amazing League, yeah.
Yep.
And he's like, you could turn on your best friend and we could make a story out of it. And that's what we did.
Right around that time, that this would be your second legacy. My first legacy, we were in a lumberyard match. Where it was the first time there was ever a legacy match, and it was just breakthrough boards.
Yeah.
You and I had used breakthrough boards before.
Yep.
And there was a spot where you were supposed to save Captain Vincent Zarello.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a breakthrough board, like you're talking about Moops in the 111. He put the 111 is where you split somebody's legs and you crotch him into the brutality pole.
Yep.
And then he was going to fall back, and you were supposed to either catch him or move the breakthrough board away so he didn't fall through. And you didn't. So Captain Amazing, who was supposed to last a while in that match, he just fell right through and he was done.
What the hell was I doing?
I don't even remember. That match was chaotic.
Yeah, that was the worst part. That was the first year, so everything was on the fly.
I remember you gave me a Rocko slam off the apron through a board.
Yeah, I think Moops put me through a board afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I think I took the meltdown or
The
boiling point at the point.
But then after that, I was done. I was selling, and you decided to pick me up and do it again because you were a dick. The real life hatred. There was real life hatred there back in the day.
Are you sure they didn't cheer for one more time?
I don't think they did. Maybe in their heads.
Well, that's not something Jersey would have done to me.
That's true. And then after that, like we were saying, we had the Annihilation match. It was the Amazing League, Captain Vincent Zarello, and then it was the War Machines.
Oh, yeah, that was a bloody mess.
And you were drafted to the War Machines.
Yep.
So it was, somebody that fans liked, but Billy or really Sid in general, everybody saw the violent potential in you, and they wanted to exploit that.
Yep.
We also had the first, and unfortunately not, last ever breakthrough countdown match, which was break your boards. You have to put your opponent through 3 breakthrough boards.
There was another one?
Yeah, you beat Pyro, and you put him through 3
That
at
was
the
the
same
best
time.
of 3. That was the best of 3.
They were all the same.
Oh, okay.
I believe so.
Wait.
Or was breakthrough countdown where you got to put them through, then they have to stay down for 10?
Yeah, I think that was the most ridiculous idea we ever had.
Well, I remember that it was supposed to be you put me through 2, I put you through 2, and then I think you were going to win, put me through the third one. But you put me through all 5. You were just a jerk.
Damn, I'm an asshole.
Yeah. So then we move on to Annihilation. Like you said, bloody mess. Captain was busted open.
Oh, that was a cleanup.
I ended up getting hurt by Toxic. So I took some time off, and when I came back, it was right before Apocalypse.
Oh, the tack pool.
Yep. But then that was also when you and I actually started to become friends.
Yeah.
And we had a mini feud, and we put on, at that point, I had only been wrestling for about 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
But it was my best match at the time because I figured out that you were a Chris Benoit fan, and I was a Kurt Angle fan, and so we kind of modeled their matches off of them. No way in shape or form were they as good or as smooth as those, but back then in our heads they were fun.
Yeah.
Then we did the tack pool.
Yeah.
Tack pool was fun for me.
Tacks are somewhat fun when they're not in your hands and ass.
And that's true. And I believe it came down to you and Captain at the end. The first Clash of the Amazers happened prior to APOC.
Yeah.
Vinny won by submission.
Yeah, I don't remember what submission at that time.
Probably just to put him over for, he's going over to win the...
It might have been the ankle lock. I think he was trying to be ankle lock guy.
Probably. And then you ended up winning the second one, Clash of the Amazers 2. I think it was a no disqualification match. Captain Amazing was on the road going for the title against Gino at Hellbound. He and I were still teaming up. We were the Freakin Amazing.
Yep.
I remember the joke is 4-0, we're undefeated.
4-1.
4-1, I don't remember where that one came from.
He turned on you during the match and joined Moops.
Okay, so that happened in the new gym.
Yeah.
He broke that record. After Apocalypse, it was him and I versus you and Toxic, where we tried to do some kind of fireman carry cutter. But you started getting into a little feud with Toxic, and this ended up kind of helping you turn back into a good guy.
Yeah.
This was building towards, Hellbound is supposed to be the most hardcore event of the year.
Yeah.
We were having a special show that was all hardcore matches.
Yep.
It was going to air on Christmas Eve. That's how it worked out because of how the tape delay was.
Yep.
I think you ended up fighting Vempriss in this match. It was a tack match.
When they turned me good, no, it was a body bag match.
Body bag match with Vempriss.
Yeah. So the long story short, Gino had a colt.
Yep.
And I think it's still to the day, I'm still the only person that's been offered to join the cult and refused to join the cult because he never asked.
Yeah.
And Gino got angry, and I had to fight the cult. Well, Captain fights the cult.
So tell me a little bit about fighting Vempriss, because back then, now people look at, it's weird because people look at wrestling now, intergender matches as, some people think it's fine, some people think it's not.
Yeah.
Back then, 2003, 2004, that was the norm. It was just like, if you're a woman enough to step in the ring with men, then, we're not going to treat you any differently. And Vempriss was one tough, mamma jamma.
Yeah. Oh, my God. She is tough. When I mean she'll hit you, she will hit you.
Yeah.
It was fun. We had a body bag match. I don't think we really planned it out because I think I was supposed to fight somebody else, and they were teasing me and Gino, and he switched it to Vempriss. I remember getting zipped up in that body bag, and her and Gino, it might have just been Gino, throwing chairs at me. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
That's an outlaw promotion I was talking about. Everybody for himself. All right, so Toxic. Sorry, going back to Hellbound. You started getting into a feud with Toxic.
Yep.
And during this time, you had pitched a special match for Hellbound.
Yep.
A trick-or-treat match.
Well, Guns made the trick-or-treat match.
Sure, Don Bronson. The idea behind the trick-or-treat match was that there were 13 boxes.
Yep.
Each box had a weapon in it.
Or a treat.
Or a treat. Tricks or treats.
Yeah.
And there was those were only things that you could use in the match.
Yep.
So, describe a little bit more about how that match came about.
So, long story short, I think Jersey had a party.
Probably, yep.
Gons was drunk, and he came up with this idea of making 13 boxes and putting weapons in it. He pitched it to Jersey, and I don't know if they were drunk or still, but Jersey loved it.
Yes.
And this is where WWE was starting to put, instead of shoving everybody into one big Hellbound match, having different feuds.
Sure.
That's when Jersey was starting to expand, because we were kind of starting to get other people in, and more people showed interest. So he wanted me to feud with Toxic because, let's be honest, Toxic wasn't that good.
Right.
He thought I was a little bit better, so he thought I could help get Toxic over as a heel. That's why I went back to being babyface, and so Gons pretty much made the trick-or-treat match happen.
Right.
Drunk.
Drunk. That night, you ended up winning the Hellbound match. Because right before, I don't know if it was right before a day, I think it was about 5 days before, it turned out that Toxic wasn't going to show up.
Yeah.
He was just like, I'm not going to do it. I think a lot of us thought that he was just personally scared. He didn't want to actually step into a hardcore environment with you, taking the threats to heart.
Yeah.
So he didn't show up. Your character said that,
He's dead.
He's dead, buried in a pumpkin patch.
Yep. Still haven't been seen.
And so you ended up winning the Hellbound match. Came down to you and Carnage.
Yep.
Carnage was on a big push. He had just showed up. He joined the cult. He and Gino ripped Captain Amazing's mask off.
Yep, that night.
And then they were trying to, because it was going to be Gino versus Captain, and Captain was trying to, he was coming back without a mask, and he was doing this new thing. But during during that time, like you were saying, you were being pushed as a babyface.
Yep.
You won the most hardcore show of the year, which ended up being Hellbound,
Yep.
which works in your favor. So tell us a little bit about winning Hellbound, and then tell us a little bit about the character of the Halloween Hellraiser, which obviously is 2 horror movies put together.
Yeah.
And there's pumpkins involved, and every day is Halloween.
Yep.
But just talk about how that kind of came about and how that impacted the rest of your career.
Well, again, Gons. Well, technically, you were supposed to win Hellbound that year.
That's right.
Gons top Jersey in to me winning because he's like, wouldn't it make more sense that? Well, we were kind of both his best friends in kayfabe at that time.
Yep.
That Rocko or / real life best friend won and defended him, and Jersey loved it for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that conversation went because I wasn't there.
Right.
So Jersey loved it. So Jersey pitched the idea of the Halloween gimmick.
Yeah.
He's like, I knew he put both horror movies together because he's like, yeah, I just looked at my movie shelf and Halloween Hellraiser worked perfectly. So he's like, what if you're obsessed with Halloween? And I already loved Halloween, so it worked out. I was like, yeah, that's cool. So he goes, what do you want to do with it? I go, well, I don't know. Like, you pitch to me the gimmick. Tell me. So he's like, you can throw candy to the crowd, which I did. It's not every week because that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Unless you go to the Dollar Store.
True.
And then pretty much from there, my career was lived off the Halloween Hellraiser, pretty much.
Right.
For most part of my career.
So then right after that, Captain Amazing, at that point I think he was just the Captain. The Captain he never lost his main event at Hellbound, but he didn't answer the call. I think he was passed out, submitted. TKO maybe.
Yeah, TKO I think was on the archives, but he never tapped or got pinned.
Right. Rocko and Flax now started to team up because we were trying to fight and get Captain's job back because we thought it wasn't fair. Now we're in a situation where throughout the year of 2004, Flax shows up, Rocko's jealous, Rocko beats up Flax, Rocko steals Flax's match at Hellbound, and now they have to team up to fight for Captain's job.
Yep.
Freakin Hellraisers, I want to say.
Yeah, Freakin Hellraisers, yeah.
I don't remember too many matches that we had.
We were supposed to enter...
We did
the Colt pretty much together.
Pretty much, that's it. And then you Captain ended up returning. He was, like I said, this new persona.
Yeah.
Now he was going to be a bad guy because he turned on me after I won Doomsday.
Yeah.
But that night the main event was you versus Gino in the first ever trick-or-treat match. Was this your first WAW Championship match? Did you ever have... This was your first... That's
First
great.
main event.
First main event. Describe the trick-or-treat match, the first one with Gino, and talk a little bit about the crucifixion, which I think was probably the biggest visual moment in WWE history that year, I believe, as far as when you look at 2004 as a whole.
Yeah.
You on the handmade cross getting pulverized by Gino until you quit.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that whole thing.
So going into that, well, we had to shoot it twice because somebody forgot their promo in Gons.
That was, yeah.
Pretty much the idea was, the idea of that match was Gino and I were going to go in there and fuck each other up, pretty much.
Yeah.
There was no treats, it was all weapons. He wanted to do something different, and I pitched the idea of being crucified and stabbed with the screwdriver or ice pick, whatever he had at that time, until I said I quit. And he liked it because he just beat Captain, and I was trying to defend Captain, and he never tapped or submitted, so I was like, well, if you're on a tear of just trying to take everybody out, that makes more sense, and he liked it. So he had crosses at that time for his gimmick because he was anti-God.
Upside down cross, I think? Yeah.
So he's like, that works. So he crucified me, and he stabbed my head way too many times.
Screwdriver?
No, I think it was an ice pick.
Ice pick?
I don't remember how many times until I said I quit.
That was it, yeah. One other thing I forgot to mention, there was a boo-boo I made. I was on camera, and you, Rocko, were fighting Priest, who was a member of the cult.
Yeah.
And you guys were having a great hardcore match, or maybe it wasn't a hardcore, it was just a match in general, but it might have been a street fight or something. But there was a time where you ended up, for some reason, I forgot to hit record.
Double duty.
Yeah, I did, just in time to see you put a pumpkin over Priest's head and finish the match.
Yep.
But after it was over, I felt like an asshole saying, hey guys, I forgot, can you do that first part of it? So you guys had to do the match again up until the point of the pumpkin. So not the first time I did that, but one or two times I am. Yeah. But it happened to me, so it was karma. I think that's pretty much it for 2004.
Yeah, that was the end of 2004. We ended Doomsday with me crucifying, not knowing what was going to happen with pretty much you and Gino next.
That's right. And I also remember that was one of those scenes where, because a lot of us, all of us were wrestling fans then, but I think a lot of us were also ECW fans.
Yeah.
And ECW was almost like the alternative, like the horror movie of wrestling, because there were so many things that were going on that nobody else was doing. Yeah. And I remember seeing the crucifixion between, what Raven ended up doing to, I think it was the Sandman, or maybe the Sandman's kid, or however Raven crucified somebody.
Yeah.
And how people were appalled, and then he had to apologize for it, and then later on learning that Kurt Angle was in attendance, seeing that and wanted nothing to do with ECW afterwards. So when I saw this scene, I thought to myself, this could be just like what happened to ECW. There's going to be people in the audience that are going to hate it. They're going to be like, what the hell's going on? Nobody had a problem with it.
Nope.
Everybody loved it, and I was like, this was the place to be. I thought that was really cool.
Yep.
So right after that, 2005, the inaugural, the first ever team tournament to crown the first ever team champions. Yep. I believe you and I teamed up in that tournament. Yep. Even though we lost.
Yeah, to Gino. No, did we fight? We fought somebody in the cult.
Yeah, we fought somebody in the cult.
I think it was Gino.
Yeah, maybe Gino and Carnage.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds about right.
Yeah. So at this point, I was main eventing for the title. We didn't end up going to the team tournament. You were in Lord of the Ring.
Yep.
Yep. And then afterwards, we move on to Legacy, where now we have B.T.P. are the new team champions. They defeated Jersey Devil and Sick.
Yep.
And Evan Burning. Yep. And now the story is they're going into Legacy to defend the team titles in the first ever ladder match, a team ladder match, I should say, against Asylum, which is you and Psycho.
Yep.
And then F Cube, which was myself and Paul.
Yep.
Psycho had just joined.
Oh, he joined.
He joined in 2005, a little bit earlier, and you two had realized that you guys lived, surprisingly, 13 houses away from each other for a long time.
Yep.
So he was very excited by that. You guys had a lot of similar ideals and styles in wrestling, and I think you guys complement each other pretty nicely. Describe what it was like to team up with Johnny Psycho, especially in the beginning.
Oh, when I was pitched the idea of teaming up with the new guy, because Jersey's like, at that point, I was, in both words, the king of the mid-card, because that's where I was half the time.
Okay.
Bringing up the new guys, because that's what Jersey liked about me, because he didn't care, because I didn't care.
Yep.
He's like, would you help this guy out and be in the team division? I was like, yeah, that's fine. So, I pitched I kind of came up with Asylum by myself. I didn't even tell Psycho about that. And I pitched the song, and like you were saying, 13 Houses.
Mm-hmm.
I get an messenger, or I am at that point of our lives, from a guy I didn't know who it was. I was like, who the hell is this? I thought it was a fan. It was Psycho messing with me. He goes, no, it's me, your new partner. He was just playing with me, and I was like, I thought it was somebody who wanted to fight.
And then I think for the initiation purposes, you ended up having the second Trick or Treat match with him, right?
Yes.
I don't remember a lot from that match. I just remember he wanted to have a plastic bag over his head. That was one of his weapons that he used.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about that match besides the plastic bag?
Pretty much when we talked about the match, he's like, what was the first one like? And I'm like, we went over it. He's like, yeah, we gotta go top that. So that was our mind. So I believe it was Psycho's point. He's like, why don't we wrap lots of stuff in barbed wire? We had a chair wrapped in barbed wire. We had 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire because I think Jersey was using that a lot at that time.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't have a bat at that time. The plastic bag. So Psycho was a bloody mess, and the idea was the teacher would beat the student, which what happened, and he would earn his spot in the original Asylum at that time.
There was also, I want to say, F Cube or Freakin Flax fought Asylum in a Team First Blood match. That,
Do we have to talk about that?
well, we don't have to.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah. There really isn't much to talk about.
No.
But it ended when B.T.P came out and poured fake blood on us. And it got really messy. And they thought that if both teams were bleeding, then nobody... Right. Except that's how we got the ladder match.
Yep.
Right before that, we had... I'm not sure about you, but this was the first match that I ever won Match of the Year for at the Anniversary Awards. Flax versus Rocko versus FO.
First match of the year I've ever won too.
Awesome. That match was great.
Yep.
I remember we all tried different stuff in that match. We all came up with different aspects of that match, put it together, and it came out pretty well. Finish was a toss salad. The first time I did a toss salad ever. Broke FO's nose.
Yep.
Still beat him.
Yep.
And then we ended up going into the ladder match.
You forgot that you put his bloody nose in my crotch.
I put his bloody nose. Oh, when I 69 surfboard you guys. You're right. That was fun. And then we ended up going into the match at Legacy, which I was saying out of the 3 matches on the card, I think it might have been the worst match on the card. Not that it was a terrible match, but because of the other things they had to compete with, there was a really star-studded lumberyard match with people like, Kevin Chaos and Christian Sane and FMJ formed in that match.
Yep.
And the main event was Carnage, Sin, and Gino and Cemetery Gates 666.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to compete against those 2 matches, but what do you remember about that team ladder match, if anything?
Let's see what I can remember. I know at some point, Paul Clement messed up our spots. I remember getting my idea of getting Puma Press into a ladder and screwed up my shoulder.
Yeah.
At some point, I don't know what happened with Psycho. I lay next to him to see if he was alright, but didn't really get much of a talk with him.
Yep.
And I remember, because I couldn't really get up and do anything with my shoulder, seeing the ending where, was it you at the end with FO?
Unfortunately. It should have been Paul.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it made more sense for it to be Paul, but yeah, it was FO and I.
And then FO took the belts from you.
Yep.
And then that's what I remember.
Okay. After that, you ended up helping to form Asylum of the Dead. It was Asylum, which was you, Psycho, Jersey Devil.
Insane.
And Sane. And then the Cult of the Dead was Gino, Vempriss, other characters, Priest, Minion. So Asylum of the Dead was the last thing that you were doing before we went to the new gym.
Yep.
That was in, I want to say, maybe May or June of 2005.
It was the first show after Legacy, whatever show that was.
And then we didn't come back and
to
November of 2006.
Yeah.
Maybe October, November.
Yeah.
Annihilation was the first show back.
Yeah.
And it was Total Chaos.
Yep.
Because Kevin Chaos was the Annihilation team captain.
Yep.
And Christian Sane.
Yep.
Christian Sane was Annihilation team captain. So pretty much Asylum versus Total Chaos in a sense. Sane, Rocko, Psycho, Jersey.
Yep.
Versus Kevin, Flax, Paul, and Sky.
Yeah.
What an odd team. What can you remember about that first match back? Because that was the very first match in the new gym that we are currently at now.
Oh, I don't remember much of that match, but I know it was fun.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I ever took a Chaos Theory bomb.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Never took it that much, but I think it was the first time I ever took that.
And then right after that, there was the feud at Doomsday where it was Asylum versus B.T.P. and you guys ended up winning your first team championships
Yep.
in the first ever team Trick or Treat match, Trick or Treat 3. What can you tell me about that match?
Well, leading up to it, we Psycho and Sane split from Asylum.
Yep.
We had a feud for the rights to the Asylum. Me and Jersey won. B.T.P didn't like it, or like that we had a title shot. Because I think at that time, only certain people had like one title shot or something like or something like that. It was such a random time annihilation. Or same one, and we just got given the title shot.
Yep.
So we fought a big top players, Jersey Hellfire dealer on the way to the Trick or Treat match to take him out. And then I remember Ethel breaking a bong over my head.
Yep.
First time ever. Last time ever.
Yeah.
Dealer pumping on a box was amazing.
First time.
Yep.
Yep.
Got locked in a straitjacket. Ethel splash. Big top. I don't remember what they call the up and away.
Yep.
Into tax. And I remember the ending was Pumpkin over Ethel's head. He took it off, got hellfired, and we put on the double face or cross devil, whatever Jersey called it.
His leg submission and your crossface put together. Awesome. And what was it like to be team champions?
It was nice. It was felt like I finally earned my spot in the company.
Awesome. Then you guys were pretty much leading the team division.
Yes.
You ended up feuding with the Kindred, which was Psycho and Sane now as a team.
Yep.
And Total Chaos, which was Kevin and his brother Q.
Yep.
You guys ended up losing the team titles first, Lord of the Ring 2006. Yep. And this is where the Jersey's two friends comes into play. Jersey was injured.
Yep.
And needed a replacement.
Yep.
And you got sick.
Yep.
So the match at Lord of the Ring was the Kindred, Total Chaos, or was it FMJ?
It was FMJ.
Kindred, FMJ, and you and Sick.
Yeah.
Where you guys lost the belts.
Nope. We lost the belts before Lord of the Ring. Let me correct you here.
Please do.
So, after Doomsday,
Yep.
we had a series of Kindred wanted the title shot because Sane didn't win the title.
Mm-hmm.
So we had back-to-back weeks where if they beat both of us in singles matches, they have a title shot. They did that. The second week, Psycho lost to me, but I still gave him the title shot because I'm crazy and I do that thing. And Jersey got angry.
All right.
I think that time, Jersey's girlfriend, Frost, whatever her wrestling name was at that time, was managing us. We had the team title match. She turned on us, whacked me with the belt. The Kindred won the belts 3 weeks after we just won.
Jacqueline Frost,
Yep.
okay. Then you go into Lord of the Ring.
Yep.
Jersey's injured.
Yep.
Psycho and Sane pin each other,
Yep.
so they don't get to lose the belts.
Yep.
The way that match was structured. It was any three people legal at any time. But then we go into Legacy, where it's another team, another match of the year, but this is team match of the year.
Yep.
Kindred, Asylum, and Total Chaos.
Yes.
What can you tell me about that match?
Oh, dude, that match was crazy. Pretty sure we went like 40 minutes in that match, too.
It's not unheard of to go that long in a Legacy title match, I should say.
Yeah. We pretty much put two separate matches together. The build up to Kindred eliminating Total Chaos because they were going to continue their feud.
Mm-hmm.
And so we worked with them a lot, wrestling in the beginning. We didn't do any really crazy high spots. Like, we did the outside high spots. The Kindred eliminated them because I think Jacqueline Frost helped them. And then it came down to Asylum and Kindred because that was the angle.
Yep.
In the end, Psycho and Sane actually did their 450. Sane did his flippy, whatever.
Death Metal G.
The one time he actually did it.
Yeah.
Because I had to beg him to do it. He thought I was crazy. And in the end, I made Sane tap out for the first time because he was my rivalry at that time because Psycho was feuding with Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I got Sane because Sane was not the leader. I was always the leader. Yeah, I said it. And then we won the team titles for the second time.
I do remember that match stealing the show. That was definitely match of the night. And that was a 5 or 6 match card, so there was a lot of matches to contend with. You ended up getting hit by a car. Set up the scene about you getting hit by a car.
That, with the Kindred, was that year we won the titles back from the Kindred in 06. They wanted another shot, because at that point, for some reason, they don't have a rematch. Oh, because they lost it back to us. Mm-hmm. That WWE rule, if you lose back the title to the guy who beat you, you lose your title shot.
Yep.
I think a lot of people forget about that nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that title match. 2 regular matches. Same beat me in a regular match. Jersey lost to Psycho. Same beat Jersey in a top rope turbulence match, something like that. I fought Psycho in another Trick or Treat match.
Trick or Treat 4.
I beat Psycho. Their way that night, Sane kidnapped Jersey in a trunk. I followed Psycho out. Sane pulled Psycho out to the back door. Tax all over his back. They're in a car. I'm walking out the back, looking for for them. Well, let's rephrase it. They had to use Jersey's car because Carnage blocked Insane's car. So thank God, because Sane had a cracked windshield already. Because I would have probably been really messed up.
Yeah.
So they used Jersey's car, hit me with the car, bam.
Cracked that windshield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go to sell in the alleyway. Cop cars coming up.
That's right, yeah. And that's where the footage ends.
Yeah.
Um,
Insane how to talk to cops out of arresting anybody.
So then, there's a lot of time that people take off, a week or two because of injury. You get hit by a car, and you're there the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And beat the Kindred somehow.
Yes. Now you guys are the leaders of the team division.
Yep.
I believe in Annihilation you ended up feuding with Eagles of Justice in a team flag match, capture flag match, which was exactly what it needed to be. It was fast, because it was Sage and it was Jimmy Fox.
Yep.
So you guys obviously worked to strengths and weaknesses. You guys captured the flag, got the team titles.
Yeah.
We go into Apocalypse, and now you guys are feuding with Payback.
Yes.
This is a newly formed Payback with Staples as the captain, as
Yep.
the leader, with Dirty Dealer.
Yep.
There's Dangerous.
Yep.
There's Rob Marsh.
Yeah.
There's Kyle Knight. So Flax is the champion. We're Asylum are team champions.
Freakin Asylum.
And we are Freakin Asylum, an unofficial dynasty.
And we had a promo in the school for Apocalypse.
Yeah, we went back to the school that we graduated from to film.
Jersey thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, to film a promo, and
Never listened to
it
his
was
ideas.
terrible.
Yeah.
Why
Why did we listen to him?
Well, it was good in theory,
Yeah.
bad in execution because the camera was just so far away.
Yeah.
We were up there. If we had more time to think about what we wanted to do, I'm sure it would have been more fun.
This is why I shoot my promos on the fly.
That's right. So we were Freakin Asylum. We go into Apocalypse. Everybody thought Payback was going to win all the
Yep.
gold. They didn't.
Nope.
We both retained.
Yep.
You were in a team table match.
Oh, God.
You ended up, or it was really Jersey, but he gave Rob Marsh the New Testament off the apron through a table on the outside.
Yeah, because I took the double stomp through the table by Marsh.
Rob Marsh got his hand split open.
Yeah, and that was our second hiatus.
Going through the table, yes. Now, the second hiatus wasn't because of the split open, but it just happened to be that way.
Yep.
So Rob Marsh got taken to the hospital. You guys got out of there. I ended up retaining against Staples and Kyle Knight.
Yep.
At the end of that night, saw Captain Amazing and Major Morpheus Morenzi return as FMJ.
Yep.
And they laid us all out.
Yep.
They laid us out. They wanted the gold. We're not sure if they wanted both team gold and singles gold, but they just wanted to destroy us.
Yeah.
We were out for a good 8 months.
Yeah.
We didn't return until Lord of the Ring, which ended up being, I want to say, maybe April.
Yeah.
April of May.
Right, no, I think it was like first week of March.
First week of March?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we build up to the Legacy still.
Okay. The first show back, Lord of the Ring, you ended up being in another team match.
Yep.
I think it was just Asylum versus Total Chaos?
Yes.
Or was there a third team involved?
It was just Payback, who we injured at that time, wanted a rematch.
Dangerous and Rob Marsh, or was it
And
Staples?
Staples. I think they all attacked it because that was their gimmick at that time. Beat all of us down. And so the match got thrown out. So we had a rematch, I think, maybe the week after, or 2 weeks after, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we beat them, so they were out of the team title picture. And I think that was the end of Dangerous and Marsh at that point.
Yep.
Because Staples, I think, went on to fight Ethel that year.
Correct. You ended up fighting Total Chaos in a team ladder match
Yes.
at Legacy. Another team match of the year, I believe?
Yes.
Hardcore match of the year that time. You guys retained.
Yes.
You were still leaders of the team division.
Oh, yeah.
And you didn't lose the titles until, I want to say, a week or two after Legacy.
Yeah.
You ended up fighting...
Just FMJ and us.
Okay, so it was just FMJ.
Yeah.
Any shady finishes there?
No. I think they just beat us. I think we just put them over. They almost lost the titles because we were like a minute away from the time limit.
There was a time limit.
Yeah, we were this close to retaining the titles of the day.
Was it a 15-minute time limit, or?
I think because we were the main event that night, I think Jersey gave us 30 minutes, and we almost hit that 30-minute mark.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You guys go into Annihilation. You guys don't recapture the team titles back.
No.
FMJ begins, I don't want to say an historic reign, but an historic length of reign.
Yes.
They were now going to be the new leaders of the
They
team
were
division.
Yep. After we lost that Annihilation, because we were the first team eliminated, it came down to the Colt versus FMJ. Because I think at that point the Colt were getting cheered because Gino actually had fans.
Yeah.
Jersey, it's like, oh, we're gonna take the summer off. I was like, well, might as well. No point in me sticking around and no partner. Couple weeks before Apocalypse, he made a tag team match. I think it was like Paul, Bianca, and I forget who he teamed up with.
Was it when there was the Soul Bowl Emerald Embassy days?
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle Knight, or maybe Soul Bowl himself, or
Not
Sky?
Soul Bowl, I think, was in the main events at that point.
Yep.
It might have been Kyle Knight. Or it might have been Sage. It might have been Sage. He might have been with Sage at that time.
Okay.
Versus, like, some other, I forget half the teams. And Jersey's like, this match is going to be crap, so we're going to come back and put it over. It was for number one contendership. the idea was for us to actually finish off the feud with FMJ at Hellbound. So we entered it as a surprise. Nobody knew.
And this was at Apocalypse.
Yep.
Okay.
We went over because I think Paul was supposed to win, and Paul was really, really pissed off and upset about it. Sorry, Paul, that wasn't my idea, but I took your win anyways. We went over in a 4-team match, which actually wasn't bad. I watched it years ago, but I tried not watching most of those matches.
Yeah.
Then we went on to continue the feud with F&J.
And then Hellbound was Trick or Treat 5.
Yep.
And that was the second ever team Trick or Treat match.
Yep.
And that was when you finally finished the feud with FMJ, and they ended up winning that feud.
Yep.
Any thoughts about that match?
We had you in a box. We had Sergeant Hatchet.
That's right.
Hatchet was in a box.
Yeah.
Vinny and myself made our moms cry, and they probably never came back to wrestling. Yeah, I have a scar from that match from my arm from Moops with the pizza cutter.
Okay. All right.
You know, Moops is like, tell Moops, hey, you know, go like this. Nope, movie horror scene, clack. Blood everywhere. I should have got stitched up, but didn't do that.
You're a hardcore man,
Yeah.
Rocko.
We had the first ever WAW movie for a promo.
That's right. That was when we had Rocko versus Devil, sort of a take on Freddy versus Jason.
Yep.
And then it was
Had nothing to do with that angle, but it was awesome.
No, right. It would have. It made more sense for what was to come with
Yeah.
you and versus Devil, but
Yeah.
at that point, I think it was just something fun to do.
Yeah.
Shot in black and white.
Yeah.
That was a fun time. And then we move on to Doomsday.
Yes.
You guys ended up defending. No.
We fought the Syndicate, or Sin and had Chill and Pyro.
Chill
That's
and
the other
Pyro.
team that was in the Apocalypse match.
Okay, all right.
Because they were way too green.
Yeah. So it was just Jersey and Rocko versus Mr. Happy, which,
Yes.
which then turned into Pyro, which then turned into Marvelous Michael McManus, and then Jay Chill,
Name changes.
who was Iceman's brother, and then just turned into, well, he's still Jay Chill.
Yeah.
I assume you guys went over.
Nope.
Sin went over? Our Syndicate went over?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is where we were revealing Jay Chill as Iceman's brother.
Okay.
Chill went over Jersey, because I had nothing to do with the screw job. So the idea was to build up to Chill attacking Sin. That was the idea. That was our purpose in that angle.
Okay.
And that led to the first ever Team Hellfire match of the year after that.
Team Hellfire match. Was that Chill and Mr.
Pyro.
Happy Pyro versus you two?
Yep.
Was it where you had to grab the Hellfire formula from the top?
And burn somebody.
And Jersey burned Pyro because Pyro didn't get out of the way? Or
He was way too close to both of us.
yeah.
So Jersey burnt Pyro's hair, because that point he did change his name to Pyro, because I think Billy changed his name out of him.
Yep.
In the angle.
Mhm.
And Jersey burnt his hair. He pretty much saved my life. I probably would have been a crispy fried person at this point.
All right, and then we go into your breakup with Jersey Devil.
Yep.
Was it always meant to end at Legacy? Was that always the plan? I know. What was the original plan?
We weren't even supposed to break up. I think Jersey wanted to fight somebody else that year, and I pitched to him right before Doomsday. I go, I think we should fight at Doomsday. I mean, at Legacy, sorry. And he goes, why? I go, I feel like at this point, it sounds like, I think he was on his way to take a length time off.
Mhm.
I was like, it makes more sense for us if you're taking time off. Because he wanted me to go into the main event. I'm like, it makes more sense for me to fight you at this point.
Yep.
He didn't like it.
Right.
It took a lot of fighting with him.
But you guys ended up having, I want to say it was maybe a best of 5 series
Yes.
match, but it ended at 4, right?
Yeah.
And there was but Moody Star, president at the time, still wanted you guys to fight.
Yeah.
And booked you in Trick or Treat 666,
Yeah.
which is a playoff on Cemetery Gate 666. The 6th Trick or Treat match. You guys kicked off Legacy 2008.
Yeah.
One of the best legacies of all time.
Yes.
You guys went to town on each other.
Yes.
The footage was a little
Black and white.
a little grainy because the camera was too
Because
close
of Jersey.
to the fire.
Yep, Jersey's fire.
But tell me a little bit more about that match.
Well, we were supposed to get there no matter what, but Jersey said, "Oh, you're gonna win the tables match," and not me. Yeah, that was an on the call fight at the show that night, for the week before.
Mhm.
I was supposed to put his ass over. So pretty much Jersey's like, his idea was, let's put on the best match I can ever give.
Mhm.
So we watched Japan matches. We watched anything and anything every day. It was like an everyday thing. So we put on everything and everything. I said, you know what? Whatever you want to do, I'm fine with.
Mhm.
I'm pretty much fine with doing anything. He goes, how do you want to end it? I go, he pitched the idea of him being in the straight jacket. I go, the only way I could beat you is by your own move. And he's like, you don't want to Hellseeker me in the tax? I go, I can, but I feel like at this point, I should make you say I quit, because if I lose, I'm fired. And I think Rocko's at that point where he'll do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
Which pretty much showed when I put on his submission and he tapped out or said I quit.
Right.
You can't really see on the video.
True. After that, that did catapult you to the main event.
Yep.
In a way, you became Annihilation Team Captain.
Yep.
Rocko family.
Yep.
Fought FMJ.
Yeah.
You still can't get away from FMJ. Describe that Annihilation Team match. Rocko family versus FMJ.
It was fun shooting our promo. That I go up to him. I go, "What do you guys want to do for promo?" Troy pitched a barbecue at his house, so we did that.
Yep.
So we did that. I think Vinny and myself pretty much put that match together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't want to make nobody look bad, nobody look weak. So everybody had their say. I don't stop anybody from doing what they want to do.
Right.
Match was great. Team match of the year that year.
Came down to you and Vinny?
Yep.
Yep.
I beat him at my first time beating him at a special.
Mm-hmm.
I think he tapped out to me. I don't know. He tapped out to me because at that point I was trying to send Sane a message because I was coming for him. I said I was going to make him tap.
And you kept your Annihilation streak alive.
Yep.
Yep.
Still haven't lost it yet.
Still haven't technically lost it yet.
Yeah.
Right. Now we move on to Apocalypse. You and Christian Sane for the WWE title.
Yes.
What do you remember about the feud leading up to Apocalypse?
At that point, I believe the Dynasty? No, wait. Sane was part of somewhat FFMJ.
It was like FM Sane, really, yeah.
The idea was Sane and FMJ were going to take out the Rocko family, which they single-handedly did.
Mm-hmm.
I think they destroyed Kristen and Carnage. Troy might have been the last guy in that thing.
Yep.
They were destroying everybody. And then we had the rematch before. The idea was the Rocko family to fight FM Sane the week before APOC.
Mm-hmm.
And my idea was they should clean sweep, which they did. I didn't tap. Sane just made me pass out. Which he goes, "You turn purple." I go, "That's fine." I did my job. Then Sane was pretty much just trying to hide from me throughout that whole angle.
Yeah. Now we go to Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Tell us about the match with Christian Sane and winning your first WWE title.
Just wrestling Sane is awesome. You wrestled him plenty of times.
Yeah.
Very good to work with. I let him put out the match. I learned a lot from Christian Sane, wrestling him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much had one of my best wrestling matches of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So we did an absolute victory, which made sense because I wanted to make sure he had no reason to complain that I didn't pin him or make him tap.
Yep.
Jersey's the presidency was on the line too. Jersey came back because Moody got rid of him. So Moody had to put her presidency on against Jersey. If I won, Jersey gets his job back in the presidency. If I lost, Jersey would never be able to set foot in WWE.
Okay. Which I assume that you lost, that you won because Jersey has continued to step foot in WWE, right?
He's lucky I like him.
Yep.
I beat Sane with the crossface that was a straight jacket crossface at the time.
Yep.
Because he knew how to get out of all my moves, and he tapped out. Amazing. Felt good to finally, win the big boy belt. I was like, I finally made a winner. Yay!
And did we all come up, all the babyfaces celebrate with you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now that was another short-lived title reign for you. Only a few weeks.
Yeah.
And you ended up losing to
No,
Christian
1 week.
Sane. 1 week?
Well, counting our high break.
You lost to Christian Sane in
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Was this the only throw in the towel match in WWE history? Okay.
Yep.
Let's talk about this throw in the towel match.
So the idea, it was my idea. Sane was trying to find ways to screw everybody over. We needed a new, clever way, and I pitched, I'm like, why don't we have a throw in your towel match? At that point, Jersey was trying to make a love angle out of me and Kristen.
Yep.
Or Riley, whatever her name is at that point. And then Moody and Sane and FMJ were trying to be a dynasty without being called the dynasty at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So Sane was sick, and he's like, I would rather do that than actually have a match. He was like throwing up pretty much. And he goes, do you mind not wrestling much? I was like, I don't care, man. He loved me for that. So the idea was we went in there, pretty much got Sane in the crossface right away. He rolled out, got him right back. Moody pulled out the ref. Ref took a face bump on the outside, drugged me with the cold foam, knocked me out. Kristen and Earth fought to the back. Ref woke up, my towel was in the ring, same one.
Never been done again. No towel match ever since.
Never again.
No matter how many times people want to have one of those.
My match, you gotta fight me for it.
That's right. Now we go into Hellbound again.
Yes.
Where you became a 2-time Hellbound champion.
Yes.
What can you remember about that Hellbound match?
that was the year where both Kevin and I were just winning all the specials.
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad for everybody else because I was like, well, don't you think it's ridiculous? Nothing against Kevin or stuff. I'm like, I knew what they were building up to for Kevin to be in the main event to win the belt at Legacy, but I'm like, it seems like I felt like we were bearing talent like Carnage and you and stuff who could have main evented a special. So when I was pitched to win Hellbound, I was like, okay. I was the most hardcore, and they're like, it makes more sense for Rocko to win it to get back at Saint. So we did the match. I don't remember much of that was FO, Gino, myself, Sin and JTL at that point. That was the angle that we were building up to.
Smokey? Was that with Smokey in the Sega Genesis?
Yeah, Smokey was the first one gone. No, Billy was the first one gone, then Smokey. No, Sin, JTL. Then Smokey. Came down to me, FO, and Gino, which we went another 30 minutes because Gino wants to call everything on the fly. We got yelled at because they're like, why didn't you guys cut it? And I'm like, I don't know. Jersey was pissed.
And did you go over Gino or FO at the end?
I beat Gino.
Okay.
Gino put me over. Might have been one of his last few matches there at that time.
We go into the first ever anniversary show.
Yes.
2008. So now you're number one contender. But the match that you're in at the anniversary show is the best team ever match.
Yep.
Where it's Payback versus FMJ versus Asylum. So then it became...
That was the angle. It was supposed to be for the team titles, FMJ, because they were feuding with Payback at that time.
Yep. I want to say the week before because there was 2 3-ways.
Yeah.
You, Captain, and Staples?
Yeah. Dealer was off that night. Jersey was off that night. They kind of left me in charge of the show. I think it was a joke with Moody, but they're like, you can run the show. Yeah. So Staples is like, want to do double headbutt? Because we were both good guys at that point.
Yep.
Captain was the only back. I don't know how he landed because I don't pay attention when people jump off. I did the headbutt. I woke up. All I saw was Staples not moving. And I was like, yep, we have an issue.
So Staples ended up getting, was it
broken hip?
Broken hip.
I claimed that I did it, and I still do.
That's right. He's out of the match.
We had faces up there getting in the emergency room. We had to get them to the emergency room because we couldn't really continue the show.
Right.
We still had matches to go. Threw Vinny downstairs. So on the fly, we had a kind of rematch with me and Vinny, but Moops got involved and somebody else got involved. Kevin. It was Kevin because Kevin had to replace Moops. We got Kevin to get Q to replace Staples that night. Or Katie.
So the anniversary show ended up being Asylum, FMJ, and Total Chaos.
Yeah.
Which was Kevin and Katie.
Yeah.
Now these are for the vacated team titles because Payback were the champs.
Yep.
And FMJ ended up winning.
Yep.
They became the quote-unquote greatest team of all time because they beat 2 of the other great teams. Yep. And then that night, Gino won the title in the best ever championship match with Gino, Flax, and FO. So now we're on the collision course for Doomsday, where it's, again, another Doomsday a few years later. Rocko challenging Gino in another Trick or Treat match.
Yep.
Gino won this one again.
Yeah.
No,
he didn't win. It was Trick or Treat 8, and I was told before Gino won the title that the idea was for me to win back the gold and go to Legacy to fight Kevin or Kevin Insane or something like that.
Right.
I was like, okay, that's fine. And then, like always, plans change on you.
At the last minute.
Yep. So Gino won. I fought Gino. He got himself purposely disqualified.
Okay.
So he used a weapon that was not in the box. Match wasn't that great. Probably one of the worst ones. I think our first one was better. It was better than the one with JT, which didn't even happen.
I was going to talk about that guy. Now, if this is the Trick or Treat 8, what was Trick or Treat 7?
Me and JT.
That was you and JT.
When we were captains.
Right.
JT got in a car accident like the week of, and he couldn't really do much. So we pretty much had FMJ destroy us, pretty much. That match was crap. And JT's still upset about it.
So the Annihilation team, FMJ versus Rocko, JT was a captain?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it still came down to me and Vinny. I eliminated all 3 FMJ members.
Awesome, FMJ killer. So Doomsday ends, the 2008 year ends, Gino's still champion.
Yeah.
You are still in the main event title scene.
Yep.
This is building to a 4-way with Sane, Gino, Kevin, and you at Legacy. You end up winning Lord of the Ring. This would be your 3rd Specials Championship, right?
Yep.
Because of Annihilation and Hellbound.
Yep.
So you win Lord of the Ring. Tell me a little bit about what you remember from that match and that win.
I think I only eliminated 2 people in that match.
Okay.
Sane was one of... It was me and Sane at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I tossed Falcon out. Came down to me and Sane. The ref got knocked out somehow. Moody, I think. Moody pulled me out. Tried to wake up the ref. Kevin came out, pulled Sane out. Or no, threatened to Powerbomb Moody, sorry. I was crawling to the back, they rolled back in, Sane wasn't supposed to see me roll back in. He told him, oh, you gotta be able to come out or I'll do it. Sane left the ring, which made no sense, because I picture at that point Sane being a heel would just let her get powerbombed.
Yeah.
He left, and I won the ring match.
Yeah, he tried to do what he did last year when he beat me, where he injured the referee red guy, threw me out, woke up the red guy, and he won.
Yeah.
So they tried to do that, but it backfired.
Yeah.
So now we have your number one contender. You're feuding on. You're going on to fight Sane, Kevin, and Gino in the first ever revolving elimination match.
Yes.
Which Dirty Dealer screwed up the announcement, said it was an elimination chamber match.
Still waiting for it.
Still waiting for that.
I'm still in it. I'm the only one around. I get to be in it when it comes around. I got rights to it.
It came down to you and Sane. No, it came down to Kevin and Sane.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I didn't win the belt.
Gino was the first one out.
Yes.
First blood?
No, I made him tap.
Okay, then you were out by first blood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second person ever to make Gino tap.
Okay.
Maybe second or third.
Okay.
Because he didn't tap out that much. Then Gino busted me open before the bell rang, the start, and I was gone, like 2 seconds.
And then Kevin won the title, defended it successfully against Gino.
And then he fought Gino again before Gino took his bow out.
Yep.
And beat Gino in his rematch.
Now we're going to Annihilation. Do you remember what you did?
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Oh, alright.
I was, I'll be honest, I was kind of upset that I was told by a certain booker at that time, that wasn't you, that I was winning back the belt, and I kept getting pushed aside for other things, so I was like, you know what, before I get hot-headed, I took time off.
Okay, and then when did you end up returning?
You got me to come back for the APOC tournament.
Okay, great.
Yeah. You convinced me, and you needed, I think at that point there was a little chaotic backstage with Sane and Kevin going on.
Yep.
And you, I think, were just taking over booking.
Okay.
I hope you don't care about that.
No.
I'm breaking the fourth wall.
That's fine.
And you said, all right, do you want to come back? Because I think you should win an APOC tournament. And I was like, if you need me to come back, I said I would.
Awesome. And it came down to, was it you and Falcon in the finals?
Yes.
Because if for some reason, I think if you didn't come back, Falcon was going to win it too, right? Okay. So you
Well, you didn't know what was going to happen between Sane and Kevin. So I think me and Falcon were, I think at that point you needed somebody else to play safe.
True. So you came back and you won your fourth Specials Championship, right?
Yep.
Apocalypse. After that, there needed to be a new WWE Champion crowned.
I was sick as a dog too that night.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And me and Falcon had to cut down some of the match. Falcon.
This was right in the midst of the Dynasty.
Yeah.
They had come back. They wanted to win all the titles. They won. They did win all the titles at Apocalypse.
Yeah.
But because of Sane leaving and his broken back, and Kevin was already retired, they had to vacate the title.
Yeah.
Sin won.
Yes.
And he was also president at the time.
Yes.
He became the champion. You guys ended up fighting at Hellbound in, I want to say now, are we at the 9th Trick or Treat match?
Yep.
Okay. So it's Sin versus Rocko, 9th Trick or Treat match. You made it at Hellbound.
Yep.
WWE title on the line. What can you tell me about that match?
Well, I can remember was when Billy. I remember when Billy said he was winning the belt. He was doing it because he wanted he would do it to fight me because he was dropping. He said he didn't mind dropping it to me. I was like, oh, that's fine.
Yep.
Because we didn't know at that point who was going to be champion. I think it was one of the most, probably the best Trick or Treat match of all time.
I think it might be.
Yes. It's in my top 3 matches of all time. So.
Okay.
It was really fun. I think it was like really the first angle I got to work with Billy or Sin at that time. Enjoyed it. The match was great. Everything went smoothly. Second ever person to make Sin tap out because he's like he'd rather me make him tap than pin me.
Yep.
It made sense for the angle at that time. Psycho. I remember the most disappointing thing. Jersey showed up that night, did a promo because I think at that point we might have been building to Devil and Sin at Legacy that year.
Yep.
He did the promo, putting me over. Sin attacked him. And I came for the save. We didn't have a monitor downstairs at that time. For some reason, the TV didn't want to work. So I had to sit up in the stairs. You know, you guys will never know where these stairs are unless you're a wrestler. Watching Sin kick his ass, booking it, and jumping over everybody just to run upstairs at the same jersey.
Awesome.
And I remember when we got to the last box and it was Psycho, the fans were so sad that it wasn't Jersey. Because they were so disappointed. They all thought Jersey was going to pop out of that box. And they might be kind of pissed at me for not putting Jersey in that box.
So you win your second title.
Yep.
Now you're going to have more of a reign
Yes.
than your first one.
Yeah.
describe what it's like to. I had this same conversation with Puma. Obviously, the title is a prop.
Yeah, I know.
It's a further storyline, but it also means something. So describe what it's like to be the champion and to carry the company and to kind of be looked at as the man of the company.
There's a lot of pressure being the man of the company, but I loved it because I thrive under being under pressure. So
Excellent.
when you gave me the ball to run with, which I appreciate to death still, I felt like now I have to show him what I'm made of. So I think the next step was I fought Gino at the end of Risk Show.
Yes, you did. Gino came back. Now this was the first time that you ended up winning a match against him with the title on the line.
Yeah.
There were many times where it just didn't work out in your favor.
Yeah.
Any thoughts or memories about that match?
Dude, I can remember the match. We had an awesome wrestling match. The night before, I was inducted to the Hall of Fame. So it was pretty much a Hall of Fame match for me.
Okay, all
It was
right.
my Hall of Fame match. I know everybody gets like a 6-person. This was my Hall of Fame match. Fighting the guy that was the first guy in the Hall of Fame, because Sick didn't really come back around.
Mhm.
So it was my Hall of Fame match. Gino said he would put me over, so I don't know who. I think it might have been you that talked him into doing the match, or
Might have
maybe
been. It
it
might
might have
have
been FO at that time. I know they were friends at that time.
Sure.
Somebody was.
Yep.
Maybe Billy at that point. So he came back to do that match. We had a really great wrestling match. We don't really wrestle that often. We usually kill each other.
Yeah.
I remember the fans not caring at all because it was late that night. I think we were in the 11-hour mark at 11 p.m. So we had the Dittish crowd at that time. They were happy he was there, but they were just tired. It was great, beating him, shaking hands, hugging him, he thanked me and then stuff.
So let's talk about you being in the Hall of Fame. So some people, I know Puma said this and FO would say this, and this happened to me. They get inducted where it's like, it's a surprise, you don't know. This was the night before.
Yep.
At the award ceremony.
Yep.
Inducted by CBZ.
Yes.
Which this kind of
No, Jersey.
inducted by Jersey.
Yeah.
Which kind of screwed
up our orders.
our orders of inductee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually the person that gets inducted the night before.
It should have been Moody, but
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
So it was probably obvious to you that you were going to go in.
Yeah,
with
I already
Jersey.
knew I was going
Yeah.
in.
But just describe what it was like to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I knew I was going to the Hall of Fame because at that time we get emails saying, let's shoot a video, and I never got an email.
Okay, all right.
So I already knew.
Yeah.
And plus, I was the only person that was on the roster at the time that wasn't in the Hall of Fame that was there the longest, so.
Right, because at that point, Jersey was in, Gino was in,
Apple was
FO,
everybody was
Moody.
pretty-
Yeah.
You and Vinny would be the next closest.
So this is kind of like the next generation of
Yeah.
WAW.
But watching the highlights of everybody talk about me was awesome.
Yeah.
I still have this somewhere in my apartment. And I didn't really have a speech. I don't plan out speeches. I shoot.
That's great. So now Doomsday.
Yeah.
You end up defending the title against, I want to say, Carnage and Rob Vituli.
Yep.
Or PT Jester.
Yep.
Okay. Any thoughts and memories about that match?
You just hated me at that point.
I hated you at that point.
No, it was actually a fun match. It was because Carnage was the #1 contender. He won the Hellbound match. I think you were building to form a team with these guys. They were feuding, so I pretty much was added into their feud.
Yep.
Because there was not really anybody else for me to feud with.
Mhm.
Carnage was at that point where he needed to be in the main event, where he kept getting, like I was saying before, where Kevin and I kept winning specials. Carnage was one of those guys that could have and should have won a special at that time.
Mhm.
So it was fun. I remember beating PT with the Rocko Slam. I took a curb stomp from PT into the turnbuckle because he's like, "Would you do it?" I go, "Yeah, that's fine." Took both their chops and survived them. It was a very fun match. Got my ass kicked a lot.
Of course. Then we move into the next year. You're in a feud with JT. 5-count match, right? JT was a king of the 5-count. Kind of stealing King Kong Bundy stuff.
Oh yeah, 5-count.
Any thoughts about that match?
Yeah, I don't know who came up with that 5-count match. That was completely crazy. It was back to the FMJ kind of angle because I think he was still teaming up with Vinny, and he was kind of on a hot roll at that time too. He just lost the pair title to Psycho or Pyro. Might have been both at that time, but I know everybody was switching that title around.
Yep, one Doomsday.
Yeah, it was a fun match. He did a lot of different things because he wanted the high fly. I was like, that's fine. He took like 4 Hellseekers in a row. Like,
wow,
flawed you to beat him. Because you had to beat him by 5-count. So every Hellseeker just got higher and higher in the count.
Yeah.
And then Yeah, it was a fun match. He kicks hard.
Now, before we get into Legacy, were there any other? Did we have Trick or Treat 10 or 11 yet?
No.
No.
We were on the road to 10. Cause, that night, Vinny won the Battle Royal as Captain Amazing because he got eliminated when he wasn't supposed to be too.
Yep.
I came out, tossed him out of the ring, and then we started to build up. Well, we didn't really need to build up. We already know the history at that point.
Exactly.
And then the week after, he did a promo saying Captain Amazing signed over, his title shot to him. I dressed up as Captain Amazing, and all I kept saying, I'm amazing. To piss him off.
Yep.
Then I fought, because Jersey was feuding with Sin. It was kind of a dynasty reuniting with JT, Sin, and Captain at that time. Because they were working together. JT was Captain's partner because Moops was gone. Billy was the president going crazy because of me and Jersey. I remember fighting Jersey in 5 matches in one night with Captain as the ref.
Really?
Yeah. We had a dumb wrestling match because all we were doing was trying to drive. Sin was at ringside, kept telling us to restart the match. So I beat Jersey in a dumb wrestling match. We fought DX at one point. I don't want to talk about that.
Invisible DX with Vinny as the referee in that stupid robe. Well, the robe was
That was part of our 5 matches. I think there was a dance-off.
Okay.
Because Jersey likes to dance. And then we finally had... I think I rolled him up, and Billy didn't want that, and so we actually had a match, and 2 minutes later, Jersey tapped out.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Legacy was best of 5 match.
Yeah.
You versus your best friend, Captain Vincent Dorello. He had won Lord of the Ring, like you said. Tons of history there.
Yep.
Vinny had won the title once before on Cinco de Mayo, but lost it. Didn't want it. Dropped it. So he never really had a reign.
Yeah.
You were going to put him over.
Yep.
And this was going to be his reign, and you were going to, at this point, you retired at that time.
Not that long. I was like...
Describe, besides what you talk about the feud with that, if there's anything you can remember about the feud or the match.
I remember after that, hope he doesn't get pissed at me, there was a time where we didn't know if he was going to make it to Legacy.
That's true.
Yeah. I won't go into what he was going through. We were up in the air. We weren't sure what was going to happen. So the idea was... I kind of had a feud with Falcon at that point for a little bit because he was the backup plan. Man, they're going to hate me for breaking all the fourth walls here.
No, this is great. This is
so me and Falcon, that week, the week of Legacy, playing a last minute standing because that's what we were going to do.
Yep.
Instead of the best of 5 because we were like, well, we'll just do a last minute standing and I'll put Falcon over. Which, Falcon, we never got to do the suplex from inside the ring to the outside. Through steel chairs. Sorry about that.
I'm happy that I didn't see anybody do that. That's great. Yeah.
Hey, I was gonna die anyway, so it don't matter. But Vinny was clear. I think that the night before Legacy, I was with you, FO, and maybe Psycho, and I think Vinny was home, and I think you convinced Vinny to do the match, and I think Falcon won the pair title or went on to win something. I know he got something in Resolved. So we planned a match that Saturday. We weren't sure if we were going to do it.
Yeah.
So we did the best of 5, which long.
Pinfall submission, first blood, steel chair, last minute setting?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was about 45, 46 minutes.
Yeah.
One of the longest main events of all time.
Yeah, right behind Cemetery
Gates, yeah. The
Cemetery Street,
56, yeah.
Yeah.
What can you remember about the moment of dropping the belt to your best friend and retiring?
The one moment, I think the only thing I remember from... because I think I took a capsize through cheers at that point when my body was dead. He goes, I remember him saying, I love you and thank you. That's all I remember.
That's great. Because Legacy is really supposed to be about the blow-off of feuds.
Yeah.
And more often than not, the good guy usually walks out with the title.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting situation to see a bad guy leave with the title.
Yeah, he kind of was cheered afterwards. So
he was, and I think it also, there was a lot, like you said, the history with you two, the fact that CBZ put in, almost as much time as you had.
Yeah.
So it was a good moment for him, a good moment for both you guys.
I sat there and my back hated me. It really hated me for everything. I was like, well, I could do at least one more match, and so, I don't need this title shot. And you're like, okay. And Vinny was like, fine, I'll do it.
So what did you do in Annihilation?
Vinny beat Pyro.
Yep.
And then after his match, I stalked him. I was completely leaving him notes. Pretty much love notes everywhere.
And this was leading up to the 6-man at APOC.
Yeah, it was supposed to just lead up to the Trick or Treat match, which turned into the 6-man, which turned into my back hating me more.
But this came to be Trick or Treat 10?
Yep.
Okay.
where he ran out the door and drove away.
Yeah, that was just there was like no contest, right? That's
Yeah.
the result is kind of still going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still driving somewhere. I don't know where he is. Can't find him.
And anything else you can remember about that trick or treat match?
Yeah, we used empty box that he punched me in the dick.
Lion cock, yes, awesome.
Good thing I wear a cup. Oh, I used to wear a cup.
So now we go into the 6-man at APOC. This was, as far as matches and moments go, and matches and moments that end shows, I feel like it was one of the best because it was a moment for Troy.
Yeah, this was Troy's angle now.
But this was also a time where CBZ was champion and Troy was number one contender.
Yeah.
Rocko came back to fight Captain.
Yeah.
Christian Sane came back
Yeah.
to get his title back. Skylar Phoenix came back to get his title
Yeah.
back. And Carnage also came back because Carnage is the best main event guy to never stay in main events for too long.
Yeah.
What can you remember about that match, if anything?
That match was really quick. I beat Vinny he was eliminated first.
Yep.
I think Sane eliminated me right after pretty much, so I was gone.
Murder Rat? You were a
Yeah,
Carnage
yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yep.
Murder Ride. I think it took a lot of convincing both of them to do that.
Probably, yeah.
Troy winning, then the face of celebrating was pretty good. You know, the guy worked his ass off.
Yep.
And then Captain taking a dream match, and us faces at the time, good guys.
Lumberjacks.
Yeah, watch Troy lose the belt in less than 5 minutes. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible, but it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we won match of the year.
It did win match of the year, that's right.
Can't believe it did.
I know. All right, so now let's go to Hellbound 2010. Do you remember anything about Hellbound?
Yeah, I got somebody convinced me that it might have been Psycho. Might have been Psycho JT. Because at that point, they didn't have many Hellbound people, and I said, if you want to be in the Hellbound match, I go, if I really have to.
Mm-hmm.
Get my back hating me.
And you didn't want to be in the Hellbound match because not only is it chaotic, but the last time you were in a Hellbound match, you guys went, what'd you say?
Yeah, half hour.
Yeah, so I mean, you just wanted to avoid that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did it. I remember JT really getting hurt and not listening to me. As the vet, you know, I said, dude, you should let Troy win. And just what Troy was supposed to win Doomsday or something. JT was winning Hellbound. And I was like, dude, just switch. I'm like, you can fix it in booking. It's simple. JT didn't want to listen to a guy that was the vet there. And he went over. he didn't even main event Doomsday that year.
No. Staples won that Hellbound match, right? Lord of the Ultraviolence?
No, JT won.
JT still won? Staples won the title.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we go into the anniversary show where it's F Off, Mean Girls, and Asylum.
Yeah.
It wasn't billed as the best team ever match. I think it was a past, present, and future team match.
That was the year of past president.
Yep. You and I had a 3-way match. It was with Bianca.
Yep.
Where it was set up where it was FO, Jersey, and Kristen, and then we were going to be right after. They had a really great match, a really quick match. I think they went like 4, maybe 5 minutes.
Yep.
That was all spots. We had a lot of story in our match. We probably went like 10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Tons of shoulder blocks.
Yeah. Shoulders hate me.
Right, and then that was where they surprised me winning Hall of Fame after the match. I didn't know that it was going to be me, and that the first time they took off my mask, and I was really happy.
Yeah.
So we go into the past, present, future match. Do you remember anything about that team match? I remember very little. I just remember going over the girls at the end.
Yeah, I think the girls eliminated us. I think it was elimination, wasn't it?
It was elimination, yeah. Double elimination.
Yeah, I think the girls had eliminated Jersey.
Yep.
And then you guys eliminated me.
Okay.
And then you guys won.
That's it.
I know we were the first two gone.
Doomsday? Do you remember?
I was gone.
You were gone, but Doomsday?
Yeah.
Okay.
My back just hated me.
So now, when did you return?
I was pitched an idea for that legacy by Jersey. Because I think at this point it was Sage and Reyes. Players or whatever their team.
Yeah.
They were a team and they needed somebody to feud with.
Mm-hmm.
And they get them over. So Jersey pitched me an idea where Asylum came back and fought them in a trick or treat match at Legacy and we put them over. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Jersey hated it after his whole idea and backed up out of the whole angle. So I think I was pitched by you to main event referee Troy and Captain.
That's right.
And I came back at the hard sell to sell the fact that I was going to ref. Mm-hmm. Vinny wasn't happy about it. The angle was them. And I ref Troy winning the belt. Got taken out by Dealer that year.
And
Troy beat Vinny again.
Right. Now, also around this time was the first ever Newton show, Exodus, which you were a part of. You won a 6-man, I believe. Technically, without a battle royal, I think it's technically the first match in Newton, right?
Yep.
You, Psycho Sage, Shatz,
Riddles.
Yep.
And I don't remember the other guy.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, it was not that important.
But you did the 6-way.
Yep.
It ended with you powerbombing Sage from the top rope. Or second rope, right?
Psycho powerbomb stage to eliminate him.
Okay.
And I beat Psycho.
Then you beat Psycho. Okay. Can you describe anything about working at a non-Manchester WWE show?
Yeah, screw stage out of a title win, a match win. I didn't actually do that now. I screwed Sage out of being the final two when he had family there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it made more sense for me and Psycho at that point. I'm like, it makes more sense. It was different, they didn't know who we were.
Yep.
You had to make sure they know who we are. We had to set the tone for the night, so we did. I remember the ending where we were supposed to do. Psycho likes to do the springboard double axe handle. I was going to reverse that in the crossface. Psycho slipped off the ropes because it was the first time I don't think he even tried practicing it.
Right.
He slipped and then I think he might have whacked his knee pretty well, and I made him tap out.
He just wasn't used to those kind of ropes, yeah. All right, so in post-Legacy, we are now in
Annihilation.
And did you fight Carnage here?
This is the Trick or Treat 11, yep.
Trick or Treat 11. Now, did you also have a wood match with Carnage?
Yes, that was after APOC.
That was after APOC, okay.
So,
all right, so let's talk about Trick or Treat. Were you with Selena at this time?
Not yet.
Okay. So you and Carnage feuded. You had the 11th Trick or Treat match.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about that one?
I came back, kind of had a mini feud with Troy and Carnage because we were fighting for the title like 3 weeks. I fought Troy the week. He gave me a title shot for a ref thing. Carnage interfered. He fought Carnage the week after. I interfered. We did a triple threat.
Mm-hmm.
Troy finally beat both of us, or I think he pinned both of us because I said, or pinned me, one or the other.
Yep.
And then Carnage got mad. I think he beat me. Carnage got mad, challenged me to a match. So I challenged Trick or Treat. So we had Trick or Treat 11, which Carnage actually could take pain. I don't remember how I beat him. I don't remember much from that match, actually.
All right. And then what about feuding that summer in Apocalypse?
I had like 2 things going on at that one.
Okay.
I know I told you I wanted to help at that point Stelina and her partner Jackie. I don't remember her wrestling name is. Staples' girlfriend at the time.
Yep.
They were random acts of violence.
Yes.
So they were feuding with ICP. Nobody was going anywhere. So I said, let me do what I do best. So you went with it. So we did. I made a joke that I ended Carnage's career funeral. They interrupted my funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Had a match with Selena in the APOC tournament. Broke her knee, which was part of the angle, which got shit on quick because her best friend at the time got pissy and didn't want to do the angle and build up because that's what you do in wrestling. You build up to stories. So pretty much I broke her. I got sidetracked with Selena. Well, I was moving up in the APOC tournament because I think that was the biggest APOC tournament of the year of all time.
Oh, we had the 32?
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
And Carnage was just going through anybody and everybody to send me a message. I think which would turn into a love angle from you. Because I kept apologizing, not even focusing on Carnage at that time. We did the APOC match with now at the point Selena and Rocko not together, but kind of together because we weren't official, I guess, and Rocko and Selena dating yet.
Yep.
So I think I handcuffed her too. She finally said yes to things.
Did the Apocalypse tournament come down to you and Carnage?
Yeah.
Awesome.
The ending was Carnage was going to use a weapon on me. Selena got involved, tried to save my life, and Carnage spared her into me, and then choked me out, or made me tap.
Okay. And then we move on to
the wood match.
The wood match, yes. Talk about the wood match. I think it's the only wood match in WWE history. The complete opposite of a metal match is pretty much what it is, yeah.
We wanted to do something different. Carnage is like, why don't we just use all wood objects? It's like, fine, I'll put you over. Pretty much kendo sticks, broomsticks, breakthrough boards, splinters all over me.
And then we move on to the second Newton show, Unequaled.
Yep.
And this is where you team up with myself and Stelina.
Yep.
And we take on Staples, Jackie, which, I don't remember her name either.
Yeah.
And then Shady.
Yep.
Besides Staples getting hurt, anything you can remember about that match?
That's
another match you're in that Staples gets hurt.
That match was... That you and Shady probably were the best parts of that match.
I remember trying to put Jackie over a lot.
Yeah. Not really. I know they beat us.
Okay.
I don't remember much from that match because I remember Jackie having a hissy fit about things that night, so in my mind, she was just being a B-word.
Sure. And I think this leads to Hellbound, where this is the Boston Massacre match.
Yes.
Where Staples, Alex Jace is leaving.
Yep.
And the Three Kings are forming.
Yep.
Tell us how the Three Kings came about and what you can remember about about that whole deal?
So I got Gino invited me over to his house with Tara, Selena. I don't care. She can get mad at me. To hang out. So he pitched me this idea. He's like, I want to come back. I want to do a Three Kings gimmick with you and Shady. I was like, okay. And he goes, this is the idea. The idea would be Dealer would be involved at some point. And then he goes, I want to put a fourth person in there. We just don't know who. And then at some point he said it was going to be Selena. That's another long story we'll get to at some point in this angle. So he and Shady started doing the We're Better Than You gimmick. They build up that they had one more person. They wouldn't tell who it was. So we got to Hellbound. Staples challenged me to the match. He asked me to have his last match with him.
Yep.
So we had the Boston Massacre match. Very bloody, very violent. Selena got dollar bill stepped in her head. I think she got more Staples than I did. I got powerbombed through a barbed wire table. Staples made me tap out.
And breaking tradition, Staples went over.
Yeah.
Because I remember getting a lot of flack for being like, well, if somebody's leaving, they should put the other guy over.
Yeah.
But it was his last match, so it was kind of a toss-up. But he went over. Then Shady and Gino came out to help. Or was it just Shady?
No, after that,
You came out to help Shady and Hellbound.
I went to shake his hand and I kicked him in the nuts.
Yep.
Billy came out, or Slyn, he was wondering what the hell was going on. I did the symbol. Shady and Gino jumped him. I attacked Selena, busted her open more. And then Shady won Hellbound because Gino and I helped him win.
Yep.
And then we pretty much took over that night.
And then that ended up going to Anniversary Show where I think for the first time a title match did main event.
Yep.
And it was Three Kings versus Team WW, which was Freakin Flax, Sin, and Moops.
Yep, and Dealer was your manager, and then Dealer turned on Sin.
And now you have Dirty Dealer as the manager of the Three Kings, and he's also board of directors member, so he could pretty much help you guys run everything.
Yep.
Now, it was never looked at to be a new dynasty. It was never going to be these people are going to win all the gold because
we weren't supposed to win gold at all.
Right.
That was not our plan.
And it was just you guys were just going to run WW up until I want to say a year later at an Apocalypse in the next year. You guys are going to fight.
Yeah.
Never got to that point.
No.
Describe if you could remember Doomsday.
Yeah.
I want to say this is when
Gino and I, Firebirds in ICP.
for the titles.
Yeah.
Firebirds were champion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because after the Anniversary Show, we demanded Buck was president.
Yep.
We demanded things, and Buck caved into everything. Gave us the title shots. We attacked the team division. We won the team titles.
At Doomsday.
Yep.
Yep.
Because that was the end of the Firebirds, pretty much. And ICP wasn't, at that point, ready for gold.
Mhm.
Shady won the WWF title because Carnage got hurt again.
That's right. So now
After
this
winning the title in the Blackout match in the Blizzard.
That's right. So this would have been your third team championship?
Yep.
Team with Gino.
Yep.
Describe the differences between Team with Gino and Team with Jersey.
There's a lot of difference. Jersey always is prepared. Gino is not bad. Gino would always just prepare at the show.
Okay.
He's like, oh, we'll just think of things in this, do it there. Jersey had things ready. He would tell whoever fighting ready, hey, this is what we want. Why don't we work off of this? Gino would be like, get there. Oh, we'll do this and this. So big difference, I know Gino is more used to going on the fly, and Jersey's not.
True. So now we move on to Lord of the Ring. You guys are team champions.
Yep.
You guys are defending the titles, and I think you guys are defending the titles against Freakin Machines.
Yes.
Sin and Flax. I don't remember a lot about those matches. I just remember, I had no problem wrestling you
I think you guys kept your title shots.
Yep.
I think we got disqualified or we walked out or something.
Yep.
And then you guys entered the Lord of the Ring. We entered as mask gimmicks, me and Gino, to try to win, so Shady didn't have to defend his title.
Right.
And you guys revealed that we were Nakasaki and whatever the other guy.
Hiroshima, yep.
As them and tossed us out.
Going into Legacy, you guys were defending the titles against the newly reformed Fallout. Yeah. Moops and Sin they weren't a team for a long time.
No.
In 2004, but what they did had an impact.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where if there was titles, they probably would have won them.
Yeah.
But you guys, they finally did. So they came back. So it's now Fallout against the Kings of Violence, I think was the official.
No, we're still Three Kings still.
When you and Gino were a team?
Yeah, we're still Three Kings.
Okay.
That happens after Legacy.
Okay. Describe what you can remember about that feud in that match.
That feud was a little pain, because at that point, there was also the team of Delilah and Selena, who we were feuding with.
Yep.
Which Gino wouldn't...
Was that Access Powers?
Yeah.
Is that what that was? Yeah.
At that time, she was we weren't married. She was my girlfriend, so she's still not great at wrestling. You know, you got to. And Gino threw that angle in a poor mood again. He never liked it, and he just had a worse attitude backstage. Like, we were working with him. Delilah was still not where she is today. You know, our job as vets is supposed to teach him and get him better. He didn't want to do that. You know, there were certain moves they didn't like to take. Understandable. You know, people are afraid. That was part of WWE. That's always been, you know, if you don't want to take something, like, I think Delilah didn't want to take our cutter. So I said, no, we're not going to do that. And Gino got pissy, and we were fighting throughout that whole angle. So without the fighting, I got, you know, Moops, fighting Moops and Sin was fine. I made the challenge to make it absolute victory.
Yep.
Because they only had a rematch, and I was like, well, if we're going to put him over, we should put him over good. And Gino's like, oh, I don't care. That was his attitude at that point.
Okay. You guys, Fallout won the titles.
Yep.
There was a rematch scheduled for Annihilation.
Yeah.
Where Fallout was going to retain. However, in the weeks leading up, there was
Devil's Last Dance.
Devil's Last Dance, where this was another one of the times where Jersey was leaving. But this time he was actually moving away. He was going to Texas.
Yeah.
Devil wanted it to be his send-off.
Yep.
So it was, and I might get the names wrong here, but I think it was Devil, Flax, Sin, and Moops.
Yep.
Against the Three Kings.
And Dealer.
And Dirty Dealer. All right,
Yep.
so it was
that was Dealer's last show, too, for a while.
okay. And it came down to Dealer making Jersey tap out to the ankle lock, the way that the first WWE match ever started. But during that time, Sin got hurt.
Yeah.
So he was, they weren't forced to vacate the titles. What they did was they had a ladder match, and it was pretty much a 2-on-1 Moops against the Kings of Islands, right?
Yeah. After Devil's Last Dance, that was the end of the Three Kings, because Ethel went on to do other things.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just Gino and I. We convinced Moops to do the ladder match, though. We did a promo that night. They kick off the show. I might have been after the first match or something.
Yep.
Where Sin came out, said he tore his ACL and stuff. He couldn't wrestle. He had to have surgery. And Moops was retiring that night, too. Yeah, that was Moops' thing. Mm-hmm. Moops does that, too. He was starting to beat Jersey.
Moops had more retirements than you and Jersey put together.
I've only had one.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry.
I take breaks now. I'm smart. So he was retiring, too. So we convinced him to, as heels, to put the titles on the line. Because if not, there was no team title match. We would have won the titles by forfeit. Mm-hmm. We did the ladder match. Horrible ladder match.
Was it?
Well, it was just a beat down on Moops most of the time. Because I'm like he did some things, but it was just Moops likes to forget things.
And plus the numbers game, 2-on-1, yeah.
Billy did try to do some work, but we couldn't really do as much. So
right.
We won the titles. Gino climbed the ladder. In that, started our lengthy reign as team champions. There was a Trick or Treat 12. Psycho. I fought Psycho when he won the belt.
Anything you can remember about that Trick or Treat match?
Well, he asked for it. He wanted to fight me.
The only one he won.
We pretty much watched our first two matches. Mm-hmm. And pretty much went out to top that.
Okay.
I know we did double plastic bags to each other.
Yeah.
Because I think at that point my girlfriend yelled at me for trying to kill each other. Pretty sure there was barbed wire, and I think we fucked each other up with that. I think we just fucked each other up, and I think Pyro got involved at the end because he was number one contender, I think.
Okay.
Because I think Psycho fought Pyro that year.
Yes, he did at Annihilation. Yeah. Now this is the fourth time as champions.
For me, yeah.
Right? Now you go into Apocalypse, and you guys feud with the franchise players.
Yes. Reyes and Puma had title shots, and we needed another face team because we were going to continue because Fallout was supposed to stay champion to fight some heel team, and we were going to continue the feud till Hellbound and have us win the belts back at Hellbound. That was the original plan. That's when Fallout was actually going to go away before the injuries and before Moops said I was retiring. So we did we built up through the summer that Gino was talking to somebody's voice. An angle that he changed on me like 5 times and not even telling me. Because it was supposed to be, Lena was supposed to reform with us.
Yep.
Because she wanted to manage me, and that's, when you're dating somebody or out married to somebody, you like to be close. And at that point, I was like, she didn't really want to wrestle. She wanted to manage me. So we agreed that it was supposed to be Slim. To find out that, I don't know where he made it to Trixie. And nobody told me until that night. And I'm like, what? So we were bumping heads at this point because I had to defend my woman over his crush at that time because that's what Gino does. He picks himself over everybody else. So we did the revealing that Trixie was stupid and screwed over the franchise players.
This would have been at Cemetery Treats at Hellbound, correct?
That's what we were building to now. We beat them in the one-on-one match. They lost their title shot.
At Apocalypse?
Yep. And I think I wasn't at the last Newton show.
Correct.
I don't know what happened. I heard the stories that Gino got drunk and fucked up everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's the story I'm going with. And they were supposed to win title shots that night.
Yeah.
And I think we had a rematch the following week on Aftermath where they won them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we move on to Cemetery Treats at Hellbound, which is a combination of Cemetery Gates and Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to do Cemetery Gates anymore. They got too dangerous. People kept getting hurt. Gino was the only one in that was...
Just Gino broke his wrist.
Right. Before that, the recent Cemetery Gates match, the first 8 Cemetery Gates matches only had Gino.
Yeah.
So there was no point to do a Cemetery Gates match without him.
Yeah.
But you guys wanted to combine them and...
Cemetery Treats.
Cemetery Treats. Not Trick or Gates, Cemetery Treats.
Yep.
Which was pretty much both teams had both teams had boxes, or at that time teams, and then you still have to pick weapons in the boxes. Those are legal, but you can only win by last man standing rules
or technical knockout by the young strike.
Okay, this is also the time where, because Puma had just mentioned this, Trixie came out in the box, revealed herself to be that. That's how Trixie joined you guys. A little obvious. I think people knew that. Not only was the popping out of a box overused by that point, but I think just in the way people saw Trixie get under the box.
Yeah, I remember that.
Anything that you can remember about that match besides that?
I remember Puma being excited because it was his first time really feuding with Gino.
Yep.
Reyes not being as hardcore, showing me, I don't know what Gino thinks, that he can actually last and take some of the shit he took. Like, we had gloves with attacks, and bam, he got busted open. He wasn't even supposed to bleed either. I felt bad because Gino doesn't care. That match, I remember just that day, Gino was more worried about finding a way to get Trixie in a box than our match. Like, our practice was Gino going, how do we get Trixie in a box? And Puma, myself, Reyes didn't really speak up because he was didn't want to piss anybody off.
And he was the newest out of the four of you. Yeah.
But I talked to Reyes and I was like, dude, you could tell us, you tell us what you need to tell us because I don't care. We're getting freaking frustrated because Gino has to do what Gino does best, find a way to get Gino over himself. Yeah. That's what he does. He puts himself over before anybody else. I don't care if he hears that because that's the truth. So that's our practice time was wasted, and he's like, "Oh, this is gonna work." I'm like, "She just is." We all, after talking to Reyes, we all agreed that she just should have stayed in the box. If you didn't want to be in the box, you should have said that. Dealer is afraid of being in the closed things, and she was too. I'm like, if Dealer could sit through a whole match and be one of the last boxes and do it, there's no reason why you couldn't. Her coming out was, everybody saw it because 8-brand fans saw her going in the box. It was stupid.
Then the next thing you guys did, we're going to another anniversary show, and this is where you guys actually lose the titles.
Yes.
Puma and Reyes win their titles.
Yep.
This would have been Reyes' first championship, first team championship rather, and Puma's third championship after Paul and after Shady.
I forgot he won with Paul.
Yep. So you guys, they won the titles then, and you guys had to build to a final blow-off at Doomsday, which was a 20-minute endurance match.
Yes. The anniversary show was probably one of our good matches too, because that's when Selena returned that night.
Okay.
Yeah, and Gino was on his way out because he was pissed off at me for pitching the idea of fighting Flax at Legacy that year.
Yep.
And he just didn't give a crap about things.
So Gino was on his way out.
Yep.
You guys ended up putting over Puma and Reyes at the anniversary show and Doomsday.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about those last final 2 matches or that end of the feud?
The anniversary show was really good because it's the anniversary show. Even when you're in a dick mood like Gino is, you put it over the anniversary show because it means the world to people. Mm-hmm. I always don't care about winning or losing. It's never bothered me. Right. The Doomsday one was... I care less about Doomsday because Puma might have said it too. I don't know why. I don't remember half of it. That night, Gino was a complete asshole. We didn't care. It was all about what Gino wanted. We didn't have a match picked out because Gino couldn't decide on a match because he's like, I don't know. Anytime we pitched to him was shot down by Gino. And I think at that point, you were sitting there like, we needed something before the show started. And Gino came up with this, we'll do this 20-minute endurance match. If, they don't beat us in 20 minutes, we win the titles. They beat us, we're gone. They keep the belts.
Yep.
He didn't care for the match because I could tell he was in the mood. I know Trixie fought the line and it was busted open. We go for our match. I remember Gino getting ready for our entrance, fighting with you with Trixie coming out, and you were like, stupid, why? And I agreed. I'm like, this is so stupid, why is she coming out? And he didn't care. It was all about Gino that night. And it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't about him.
Right.
We did that match. did what we did. So glad it was over. I don't even think he said thank you to any of us. I think he even took off after the show was over with Trixie, because that's what Gino does. He ran off.
Yeah.
Puma and myself and Reyes cleaned up what I think he used weapons too. So it was a crap fest.
And then besides Save the Dojo, that's pretty much the last we see of Gino.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah. So now we go into 2013. The next thing we have is the feud between you and I, Rocko and Freakin Flax. Like we said before, there was a little bit of jealousy when I came in and was with Captain Amazing. We had a match before Apocalypse. We had the Breakthrough Countdown. But for the most part, you and I hadn't really worked a lot.
Yeah.
Because we were both good guys for most of the time.
Yeah.
So this was really the first time that, I mean, when the Three Kings formed, we obviously had some interaction. But this was like, I think...
You were more shady at that time?
Yeah.
He was your best friend?
Correct. And we had a year and a half, or a year-long feud, I think. This was our first main feud.
Yeah.
And the object of the feud was to get to Trick or Treat 13, the final Trick or Treat match. And Freakin Flax had somewhat hardcore tendencies, but nowhere near Rocko. So you had to actually build up the Freakin Flax character and see what he could do.
Yeah.
And we had, I want to say, maybe 9 matches.
Yeah.
Up to that point. Obviously, we took each other out at Lord of the Ring.
Yeah.
We had a regular match, and you honestly you killed me that entire feud. You beat me in a regular match. We had a I think you beat me by count out. You threw me on the outside, and you won by count out. Then we had a no countouts match that you won by disqualification when you pulled the Eddie Guerrero trick, right, with a sealed chair. President Red Guy at the time didn't like that, so we booked the second match between us that night was a sealed chairs match, only sealed chairs match I've ever had.
Yeah.
Where the ending was you win by DQ again when you kept attacking me with the bat and I kept blocking you with the chair.
Yeah.
And the one time I use the bat on you, it's an automatic DQ because it's not a chair. So I'm getting pissed now. We have a first blood match where I bust you open, but you wipe the blood on me, and I don't know if you won or it was a draw. Might have been a draw.
Yeah, I think it was a draw.
There was a last man standing match that was a draw.
Yep.
There was a submissions count anywhere match where I think I won that match. Figure flex on the post. Yep. And there was a table match that you won. You threw me through a table.
Yep.
But it all built up to Trick or Treat 13. We both got hurt.
Yep.
I got sent to the hospital. But we both got hurt and both continued the match.
Yeah.
As far as matches go, this was one of my favorites. Like I said, the Freakin Flax character had not shown a lot of hardcore tendencies. A few things that this match is remembered for.
I can't remember this.
The first is the barbed wire dildo.
Yeah, we remember birthday parties.
We did ruins. There was a child's birthday party that was there. That after the match was over, they left and they didn't come back. They came back months later, but they just were upset about the graphic nature of the match. I did a thumb of the bum, but with the dildo with barbed wire. I gave you double axe handle with the barbed wire.
Got my head busted open.
Yep. There was a lot of random weapons in that match. You ended up. We did a spot where you were gonna light me on fire. We had 2 gas tanks, one with gas, one with water. You put me in a trash can. You put the water in there, but everybody smelled the gas. And you were gonna light me on fire. I broke out of it, but you gave me the power bomb, which was the awful waffle. So one from Alex Chase to the trash can. This was the only time that I ever tried to bleed my own way besides a hard way.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm thinking, all right, this is going to be great. I wanted, sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I know.
I thought that you putting me in a straitjacket and hanging me upside down, taking off my mask to reveal not only my ugly face, but there's going to be blood on my face, and I bleached my hair so I could have that Ric Flair, right? So the bleach didn't work out, so it was more blonde than white.
I remember you bleaching your hair because I think Selena did that.
Probably. There was, after I ended up showing color, I put the mask was still on, so the mask ended up soaking up a lot of that blood. So when you took my mask off, there was some blood there, but not as much, and I kind of looked like the guy that shot up the Dark Knight Rises movie, which is terrible, right? But that was the interesting spot there.
We had a Batman Bane spot too in that show.
We did, yeah.
That makes it worse.
Right. I did a Hurricane Run into you in the straitjacket. Best Hurricane Run I've ever done. Then we ended up, the spot that got me sent to the hospital was one of the boxes had Reese's in it. And so I said, well, let's share the Reese's because you love Reese's. You took me out of the straitjacket. I blew up the Reese's. I knocked the Reese's out of your hands. Now you're mad. We ended up going on the apron, and my genius idea was a double crossbody off the apron. Crossbody, flipped us around. I landed on my shoulder. You landed on your knee. It was bad.
Yeah.
We still wanted to finish the match.
We did.
We still had a tack pool spot. We did. We still had a barbed wire spot. We did.
Yeah.
I know we had, like you said, you had the Flax Man stuff, Bane stuff, barbed wire bat, pizza cutter, cheese grater, pretty much everything that I could think of from former trick or treat matches. And this was going to be the last trick or treat match, so I wanted it to actually mean something.
Yeah, and it did.
It did.
I'm so glad we were in that party.
Yes, we were in the party. You put me over, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Figure Flax in the barbed wire and thumbtacks. My shoulder is dislocated. After the match is over, the referee raises my dislocated arm. I'm like, this is terrible. I'm trying to leave.
I raise your arm.
Yeah, you call me back to have a speech. We share a Reese's, which, for anybody knows, having a Reese's after a match, I guess it's a workout. Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah.
We went about 30 minutes or so. Then you raise my arm again. Still hurts.
Didn't Selena take you to the emergency room afterwards?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I ended up sharing I was across the room from Stephen Broad. We were Kings of the Sling. I was out for a while. I was only going to be a referee for a little while.
Yeah.
But you nursed yourself back, and you ended up sticking around.
Yeah, I did outside life things afterwards.
Right. You also, I believe at this point, you started a feud with Conway?
Yeah, he was doing that gimmick where he was disrespected by the Hall of Famers, legends, whatever.
Yep.
And he kept calling us out, so nobody really wanted. For some reason, everybody he wanted to work with was either busy or didn't really have time to do it. So I was like, I'll come back and put him over.
Now, did you return on Annihilation or Apocalypse?
Apocalypse.
And did you fight him?
Nope.
Smokey. Michael James?
No, I didn't fight Smokey that year. I just attacked Conway. He was in the triple threat Apocalypse Championship with Delilah and Steve.
Steve, yep, okay.
At that point, I kept leaving. I left boxes around to send them a message.
Mm-hmm.
Stelina, as a creepy nurse, came out. By the way, who was pregnant at the time, brought him a box. He opened it with barbed wire, and he knew I was somewhere, so he called me out. I was behind him, where I always hide, underneath the ring. And I laid him out with the Hellseeker, and I said I challenged him to a best of 5.
Okay.
And I think after that, we went to Newton.
Yes, you did.
We had a Newton street fight. I beat him.
Was that the Lego spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we had a regular match afterwards.
Were you in the Legos or was he? Who took the Lego?
I think we both were.
Okay.
I think we went to a regular match. I think he won.
I know it ended at Hellbound in a Iron Man hardcore match, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because we did space out the matches.
Yeah.
Then we had like some kind of tag team match or something. He beat me in a submissions match. And then he beat me a top rope turbulence match. Sounds about right, something like that.
Yep.
I know we did a promo with him and Giles breaking into attacking me at my apartment.
Okay.
They beat me up outside.
Yep.
Trying to drive Tara or Stelina Standard at the time, which was a horrible idea. It worked for the promo though.
Yep.
They drugged my pregnant girlfriend, soon to be wife at that time. Teased that they were gonna power drive her. What did they steal? I don't remember. They stole something, or they just wanted to beat me up for some reason. Maybe. Oh, that's when they took my kitty and he told Giles not to eat the kitty. We had that meet me at that year.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that was the funniest part of that promo.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Iron Man hardcore match at Hellbound where I put him over. Didn't need to go over.
Mm-hmm.
He needed a push. I think he was on his way to get pushed for something. Maybe team titles, WWE title. I don't remember.
And then we go into the 15th anniversary show, and I think you ended up fighting Michael James, who was champion, and Chris Shady.
Yep.
Any thoughts on that match?
I don't remember that match very much.
It's funny. You remember things that happened in 2004, but something that happens in 2015, it's like, what?
Yeah. It was fun. Wrestling F was, or Shady at that time, where whatever you're known by, it's fun to work with.
Of course.
Easy to work with. Second or first, no, it might be second or first time ever working with Michael James at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Very easy to get along with, too. Put him over, because, again, don't need to go over.
Right.
I don't remember what I did at that Doomsday, though. Flaction.
Right, so then the Flaction was formed. It was myself, I was president, I beat Red Guy, Shady, MKK, and Conway. Were you in the ladder match, or did you just fight one of them?
I fought MKK for the pair title.
Fought MKK for the pure title.
Yeah. This is the MKK feud.
Yes, MKK feud. I assume it just went through Lord of the Ring. Did you have another pure title match with him?
He
dropped
Doomsday. I fought him at Doomsday. You cost me it with Let's Go Rocko Chance.
Yep.
So I technically had a title shot. I was gone because at that time I wasn't sure when the Mellow was going to be born.
Right.
So I was like, I'll at least be there for Lord of the Ring, put him over.
Yep.
He fought Stamos, I think, at Lord of the Ring.
Yeah, because there was a pure cup.
For the title.
Yep, but he lost.
He lost. I entered Lord of the Ring, got eliminated, I think by Stamos / MKK, who came out. Then I was actually gone because the baby was born. They think Stamos won back the title. I came back, did a triple threat that there's no footage of.
MKK, and Stamos?
Yep.
Why is there no footage of?
Somebody lost the footage.
Somebody lost the footage?
Switching off.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So I put over Stamos because I was like, well, it makes more sense for me to lose than MKK at that point because I wasn't sure how long I was sticking around. Then we fought MKK at Legacy in a no DQ false count anymore match, which you didn't really want to do.
Right. And I think you went over.
Yep. I went over, and then my child pinned MKK, so I can embarrass him more.
Yes, you took her from the crowd, freshly born, only a few months, right?
Yep.
A few weeks. And then just laid her on top of him, his deceased Canadian shoulder hair body.
Yep.
And pinned him, and that was it.
Yep.
You became president that night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flax had a match with his brother. Presidency was on the line. I lost. He named you president. You were president for only a few months.
Yep.
But describe what it was like to, you'd done so many different things in WWE. Now you get to be president. What was that like for, even though it was a short-lived thing?
More promos.
Yeah, more promos, yeah.
The crowd loved it.
Yeah.
Should have won Babyface of the Year that year, but I didn't. But Troy Garble did.
Yeah.
Guy who wasn't over as me.
I understand.
It was fun. I got to work with you. I fought Conway as president to beat him. Then I was building up to you and Shady in the handicap match, Cemetery Treats too.
Yep, handicap Cemetery Treats.
I was the 2 weeks that the president's not there. Shady got hurt.
Yep.
In a ladder match.
Yep.
I don't know what it was for, but title match.
Person that came out in a box.
Well, we weren't 100% sure.
Right.
But he wasn't there all night. We got right to that box.
Yep. And we had another hardcore match. This time I was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Opposites. Right. Cemetery Treats. Numbers game still wasn't in your favor.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot about that match besides, the pyramid, the chair spots and just concertos. And
I took a big top drop and a straight jacket off the apron into tacks.
There you go. Fantastic. You gave me 2 Rocko slams into tacks. You gave Shady the pumpkin crusher into tacks.
I think I went through a break board of barbed wire from you guys.
Yep. That was the last time tacks were ever used.
Yeah, and then I think you got Shady splashed me while I was in the tacks.
Yep.
I don't know how he still splashed me because we were so close to the apron.
Yeah.
That man could do anything.
Yes, yes.
And then you guys buried me in weapons.
Yes.
And you guys won.
Yeah, and you lost your presidency.
Yep.
Yep.
And that was that.
So then we are going to Apocalypse that year. Is that when you fought Smokey?
For the first time one-on-one, yeah.
Okay.
Chad screwed that up.
Why?
He played my music before I was supposed to be out.
Ah, okay.
He gave it away.
Yeah. Thoughts about the match with Smokey?
Good.
Yep.
I think it was like a 5-minute match.
Yep.
Gave him, he's like, I'll let you do whatever. He was very easy to get along with. I'm like, dude, I'm putting you over. You tell me what I'm doing. He was, I let him call the match, so.
Okay. Hellbound that year?
Yeah.
Because I think we're coming up on Carnival Midway at the anniversary show. So what did you do with Giles?
We did the Kings of Asylum.
Kings of Asylum, okay.
Selena was trying to get... I was playing my games with Giles, and Selena got us to form to fight for the team titles against Evilly and Bianca, who I think were the team champions at that time.
Okay.
Because there was no other really teams at that time, because that's what happens with us. We lose teams.
Yep.
We put them over, and I think hardcore match. I don't remember what kind of hardcore match.
Okay.
I think after that we challenged each other to the Carnival Midway.
Carnival Midway, which for anybody that doesn't know, is a match where there's weapons. It's almost like Trick or Treat, where the weapons are in boxes. Only those are used, except they're in stuffed animals.
Yeah.
The first Carnival Midway match was really bad.
Yeah.
Not only because it was a mess to clean up, but the match itself just wasn't good.
No.
Was this match with Carnival Midway were you and Giles good?
No.
No, okay.
It was a joke. We made a joke out of the match. I remember talking to Giles. I go, what we use for weapons? And I went to Goodwill and all these places to buy stuffed animals that I had to hide from my kid at that time.
Right.
I did the match, which I think my kid might have been in the crowd with Tara at the time to watch. And I bought a stuffed pig that had weapons in it, and she cried because she wanted that pig.
Okay.
which I had to sew and stuff afterwards. Thank God.
You can sew.
Yeah, I can do a lot of things. I don't tell people.
Who won that match?
Nobody.
Nobody.
The Crispin's Knights, whatever, Bane and Cade attacked us.
And did you fight them at Doomsday?
And Bianca and Evilly.
For the titles?
Yes.
And Bianca and Evilly retained?
Over them, yes.
Okay. So now we're heading into Lord of the Ring, and I want to say this is the year that you and Giles tied?
Nope, this ain't it. I fight Pyro at Legacy. At Doomsday, we shot a promo where Pyro bumped into me with the pair title.
Yep.
And I was kind of going to be turning heel because I wanted to do something different. And Pyro didn't really have an opponent for thing, and I'd never been in the pair division, which nobody thought I would ever do. Mm-hmm. We made it to the finals of the team tournament. Me and Giles lost to B.T.P.
Yep.
Because I think they did something to our managers or threatened to hurt them, or they did something and it got us distracted. And then I attacked Chad and demanded Chad did an epic encounters with after the main event.
Yep.
And he made fun of me for not being a pair champion or never would be. And I snapped and attacked him. And I told him to tell Pyro that I'm coming for him. That's when I went heel. I fought Pyro at Lord of the Ring that year. One of our quickest and best matches we ever had.
Yep.
One match of the pair match of the year.
Awesome.
Into Lord of the Ring, got eliminated by I think Giles. Then I went on to fight Pyro. Save the Dojo was next.
Save the Dojo was next. Yes, we thought that WAW, at least the home that we knew of the Murphys, almost didn't exist.
Yeah.
They were having some financial problems, and they didn't know if they could keep the place.
Yeah.
So the idea was to bring back as many former people from WW as we could.
Yeah.
One of the best nights I think in WWE history. There was a lot of former talent came back, whether it was Jersey or Dealer or
Gino, Kevin.
right, Sin.
Kevin was already on the program, but
that night you guys, there was another match. That one match of the year for you would have been Rocko versus Gino versus Kevin.
Yeah.
This was, I like to think this is our end of an era match because it's the only last time that, to my knowledge, that the three of you will ever be at the same place at the same time. And there was a lot of issues that you had with Gino, obviously, you talked about.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Kevin and Gino had issues. I know that they had a feud for a long time, but I don't think there was any personal heat there. And you and Kevin always worked fine.
Yeah.
I know that you didn't want to do the match, but you did it anyway.
Yeah. Now I want to be part of that match.
That was the last time.
I was going to do it because Shady was supposed to be part of it.
Shady, right.
We were going to do the Three Kings match, and
Yes.
then Shady dropped out and convinced me to stay in that match.
Right. And that's still a great match.
Yeah, that's what you guys think.
Anything that you can remember about that night or that match?
Oh, that night was awesome. I remember, actually, before I get to my match, we had a four-way with the Vixens when Vempriss came back.
Yeah.
That I helped put together. I was very proud that even Allison, who has issues, was awesome. Probably one of our best Vixen matches I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
In that match, the match of crappiness that I like to call. Yeah, that match was all mess ups. I completely fucked up that match.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah, I tried to make it so bad that we didn't win anything.
It didn't work. So what?
No, backfired in my face.
Then we go on to Legacy, where you are fighting Pyro, and you win the pure title.
Well, I did tack Pyro at Save the JoJo.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Who did he? Oh, he fought
Staples.
Staples.
And I tried to burn the pair title for Buck.
Because they tried years ago.
Yeah.
You ended up fighting Pyro for the pure title.
Yep.
First time you won the pure championship. You finally, after all this time, became a Grand Slam champion.
Yep.
And as somebody that, I know I recently won the pure championship, but it was also one of those titles that it's like, we didn't need it. There was a lot of people were Grand Slams before us.
Yeah.
But there was also an exclusive well, look at this Triple Crown Club. Look at Flax, look at Rocko, look at Troy, look at Captain. These are people that are legends, and we don't need the pure championship. But it's also nice to win all the titles. So what can you remember about that match with Pyro and becoming a Grand Slam champion?
Well, yeah, that pretty much my angle was for that was I'm the greatest peer wrestler. Pretty much I can out-wrestle anybody when I want to.
Yep.
When I put my back to it, that never held the peer title. That was the gimmick.
Okay.
When Pyro and I said let's do the absolute victory match, he beat me, and then he came up with the idea of me knocking him out and doing the handshake where I won the belt. So technically he won the match, so technically I didn't really beat him for it. He didn't shake my hand because I kind of knocked him out when Red Guy was distracted by Selena.
So it was a villainous way to win.
Yep.
Yep.
which everybody hated, but it worked. It
worked.
made sense to continue the angle.
Yep, and you guys, I know you had mentioned that the feud kind of started with you bumming into him at Doomsday.
Shoulder blocks.
But it kicked off a, 3-year feud?
3-year feud for touching my shoulder.
One of the longest feuds in WWE history. So after winning the title, you ended up holding that title until when?
Newton, but we did Danvers rules, which was Jersey's rules when he was pair champion. When there was no rules.
All right. So at Annihilation, who did you fight against? Pyro again?
Pyro. In a weird composite that I think you pitched to us.
Okay.
We did the pair match, and then we had a hardcore match.
Okay. Two-fall match, sort of. Yep.
Where both, I think, Billy and Chad were refs.
Okay.
First match was the pair match where we had Danvers rule, real pair matches. I think Greg was the president at the time or something like that, where he actually made me defend it in a wrestling match.
And you won.
In like 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes.
And then you had the hardcore match.
Which, if he won, no more Danvers rules, which he won after we had an Iron Man match.
Was this at Apocalypse?
No. This is Annihilation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And he beat me, and he got rid of Danvers rules, and Billy was gone.
Okay.
So
when did the Iron Man match happen?
After Legacy.
All right, that was his rematch. He took it in an Iron Man match. Then you had Apocalypse.
Yes, was a open challenge match where technically supposed to be me and Troy that year.
Yep.
But Troy wasn't committed because he was going to win the belt for me.
Yep.
As much as I was trying to get Nachos to win the belt for me, nobody wanted to do that. I did. I tried my hardest. I really wanted Nachos to beat me, embarrass me, because I thought it'd be funny.
Yep.
Delilah took over the angle because we weren't. Troy wasn't 100% confirmed for anything.
Yep.
Troy did take the challenge. I think he just accepted the challenge, like on the hard sell or something. Because I took out Delilah. Troy accepted the match, and then I came out and APOC did a promo. Go before I know Delilah's here and I know Troy's here. Before anybody else gets here, I tried to ring the bell. I think Stamos entered, and then Pyro returned after I put him out for the year for the summer because he was booked with Falcon all over New England that year.
Yep.
So there was no time to even continue the feud.
Mm-hmm.
He returned. I beat Troy for the kept the belt from Troy because I held the tights with the ropes. Heel weight and went. So nobody really took a loss that needed to lose. And then we went to Newton. Alright, we had a 7-minute promo with MKK via Facebook promo, whatever it was at that point.
One promo of the year.
Yeah, wow.
I know.
I had to sit there and nod to a TV. That was already shot.
What it pretty much was you ended up agreeing to defend your title against Delilah at Newton, correct?
Yep. Which was one of my favorite matches.
Awesome.
When I was pair champion, which I think she beat me in like less than 7 minutes or something. I think it might have been one of the shortest matches that night.
Hometown girl wins the title. Yep.
The week after I took my rematch after I beat the crap out of Allison. That's what I do when I lose. Mm-hmm. She beat me again. Pyro, because of Pyro. Music hit and got me distracted. And then we went to the second ever, kind of a Boston Massacre. I call it the Halloween Massacre because it was Hellbound.
Yep.
With Pyro.
And what about that match?
Oh man, that was brutal. That was a lot of barbed wire. We did something different where Carnage was the president now, or Carnage was filling in.
Sage?
Sage, yeah. Pyro just beat the crap out of me with a barbed wire bat when I was cuffed, and they stopped. Oh no, it was Last Man Standing. Sorry, I'm getting my years mixed up.
That's cool.
I'm going ahead of myself. We did a Last Man Standing where we almost killed, we almost died. And
was that when the chairs were laid out like a bed? And
yeah. And I know I got yelled at by my wife at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Very much. For bleeding and almost dying. Pyro went over, because that's what I do.
Team Steel Chairs. You and Alice in Chains?
Allison and Pyro.
Allison and Pyro
versus me and Psycho.
You and Psycho.
Psycho returned.
Fantastic match.
Because Selena was going to do it, but she was in starting school and she didn't know how school would affect her.
Right.
So Psycho replaced her. Match was horrible. I'm going to stop talking about that match. Don't watch it. Delete it off YouTube, please. We came up with the match. Well, Pyro, Psycho, and myself pretty much can do whatever we want on the fly. Allison does not listen to people when they tell you, hey, stay downstairs onto a spot.
Yeah.
So we gave Allison the shine, which she shined on all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Made her look good. Selena dragged her downstairs. Apparently she doesn't know how to sit in front of a TV downstairs and watch a match. We're beating up Pyro. We gave her a cue where Psycho and myself were going to hit an old Asylum fit move. I think whatever lockdown, and she was supposed to run up and save him. She came back out early. When she came back out early, I saw it. You could tell on my face. So, you could see it on my face. I was so pissed. When she went to run and spare me, I kicked her straight in the face. Yeah, my foot was in her face. I dragged her downstairs and yelled at her and said, "You stay and watch, and you come when I tell you." She came back. She took a murder bomb because I thought, instead of doing murder ride, I thought it was a cool finish because I was like, Psycho, that's a better way for us to go over than some other crappy way.
And you guys did go over.
Yep. Pyro didn't lose. Allison did.
So Selena was going to be in the match, but because she had school, but she was still there?
Yeah.
Huh.
She just started school, and I think she just wanted to manage. It would be less stress at that point.
All right, so after the team steel chairs match...
Let's never talk about that match again.
You were hurt.
Yep.
Do you remember what the injury was?
Shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you took off the rest of the year?
Well, yeah, kind of. I kind of stuck around somehow. Pyro was winning the Doomsday Ladder match. The idea was... I didn't really want to... I didn't want to mess Doomsday, because I felt like the feud was just starting, and I know it was going on, and I knew what we were doing. So, Pyro was about to climb up near the end. Psycho, myself, Selena ran out. No, Selena ran out first, because I think Selena did something. I think I was there for Selena that night. He knocked down Selena. Then Psycho and myself ran out. He took us out, laid us out with the Dragon Fires, and then won the ladder match, because we tried to screw him over.
Right, okay. Then you go into Lord of the Ring.
Yep.
Where you end up winning your second Lord of the Ring.
Yep.
Tying with Giles.
Yep.
I think it's the first ever tie in WWE history.
I technically beat him. Oh, technically he should have won. Nobody knows I fell out beforehand.
You did fall out in that. Yes, you did. You pulled the captain. Yeah.
And nobody caught me.
Right. So Gabby was in charge at the time.
Yep.
She ended up saying that you're both going to Legacy.
Yep.
Not
I
only
entered number 1.
you entered. Oh, you were the first one in Lord of the Ring.
Yeah, I lost to Gabby, and if I beat her, I get to be the last entrant, and if I lost, I had to be the first entrant.
Okay.
And I entered 1, with Giles entering number 2.
And you guys went from number 1, number 2, all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys tied for Lord of the Ring. You guys went to Legacy, and it was Grim defending the title against Rocko, against Giles, and against Pyro still.
Yeah.
Was this another revolving elimination
No.
match? Just sudden death?
Sudden death. No false count anywhere, sudden death. With Carnage as the ref.
Carnage as the ref. And you won.
Yeah.
You won the WWE title for the 3rd time.
Yep.
And had a shorter reign than your first one.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about that match, what you remember, besides getting injured? We can talk about the injury, too.
The idea was Giles was trying to finish the feud with Grim. I was kind of feuding with Pyro, Giles. And
kind of feuding with Pyro, yeah.
Well, feuding with Pyro, but kind of Giles.
Right.
At that point, I felt like I was probably the biggest heel going right now. Because I turned Grim, who was supposed to be heel, a babyface that night when they touched me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I do. We had that 4-way, which I put together, because for some reason everybody showed up in a pissed off mood again at Legacy. I know Pyro was upset because his Power Ranger gear wasn't in, or his boots weren't in, so he was upset about that.
Pyro, so people showed up in a bad mood.
Yeah, Pyro was upset about his gear. Giles has his issues backstage. Grim, you never seen him in a bad mood, but he didn't look like he was like, maybe worked, I don't know. So I put the whole match together, because Pyro just wanted to be powerbombed out from the ring to the outside by Giles. I was like, no, we're going to actually wrestle, because that's stupid. Played off of my character being the dick, pissing everybody off. They beat the crap out of me in the beginning.
Yep.
Everybody got their moments to shine, because that's what you do.
Yep.
The ending was a kind of a finisher fringy type thing. Selena gave me the bat, made Pyro tap. For the first time in his years, I don't remember the last time he's actually tapped. After the match, Sin and myself were teasing Rocko versus Sin again at Annihilation. We got face to face.
You took a double spear from Carnage.
Yeah,
and Giles,
I thought it was supposed to be. I thought it was Psycho, because he was supposed to help me in that match, but he went home after his match or something. I fell asleep or something, or he had his kids or something. Something happened. We took a double spear in Carnage because the crowd wanted me to die. Gave me a Maxi Carnage that I was not ready for, because I was already just wrestled 15 minutes. I was tired. I wanted to go. Landed straight on my knee because that was my bad. It's not Carnage's fault. My fault. My knee pad was already down because I was, celebrating, and I thought I was just taking a spear. So
right.
Worst idea ever. So my title reign was that night.
So I know that I remember getting people were upset about the booking of that because they thought, well, if Rocco's going to win the title, why doesn't he just keep it? And then they thought, and if the person that's going to win the title is just going to drop it at the next show, why doesn't Grim just hold it?
Yeah.
So, in my defense, the next show that we had in Newton was, besides like the first ever anniversary show or Save the Dojo, was going to be our biggest show of all time because Robbie E was going to be there to fight Chris Shady. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, it'd be great to have a title change at this show, but it'd also be great to have a title change at Legacy. So I thought that you winning the title and then you finally finishing your thing with Giles at this Newton show would be great.
Yeah.
Didn't work out that way.
Nope.
Like you said, you got hurt. We had to fight for a vacated title at that show.
Yeah.
Not only that, but Robbie E didn't want to work. He didn't want a main event.
Yeah.
He actually wanted to leave at halftime. So
he had to catch a plane or something.
Yeah, so we had to switch some things around. So the next time that you ended up coming back, Giles was champion.
Yeah, and then I was gone for most of the summer because I wasn't cleared yet.
What do you remember about returning?
I
know you were still trying to get that
Oh,
title.
no, I returned the team with you at Epoch. We took on Carnage in a handicap match. It was supposed to be you and Jersey and Carnage versus you and me.
We didn't beat him down at Annihilation?
Yeah, we did. Actually, yeah, I did that with you.
So what did you do at Annihilation, though? Did you do anything?
And then
Jersey fought Dirty Dan.
Yeah, after your match, he showed up because you were just bitching, and then we attacked Jersey.
So your return was to attack Jersey and lay him out. We were going to set up for Jersey and Carnage versus Rocko and Flax.
Yeah, and then...
That didn't happen.
Yeah, we fought Carnage in a handicap match. No, maybe Psycho was in it. Psycho might have been his partner. And Psycho turned on him afterwards.
Okay, so...
I think it might have been like it was craziness.
Alright, so Rocko and Flax versus Psycho and Carnage.
Yeah, and then I beat Carnage. Psycho turned on Carnage.
Yep.
Because I think I argued with you. I was like, why didn't Psycho just not be with us anyways? It makes more sense if he was going to go heel. Well, I fought Giles for the title in a medal match.
On Aftermath?
Yeah.
Okay. To finally finish up, to finally get that rematch back. Yep.
Yep.
Anything you remember about that match?
I landed in way too many forks.
Alright. Tribute to Buck.
Yep. Took a scrap buster into the forks. Yeah. I remember that.
And then this is when you fought Pyro in the Halloween Massacre match?
Yes.
Okay.
Bloody mess.
Anything that stands out from that match? I think it won Match of the Year, right? Hardcore Match of the Year?
Yeah.
Yep.
He killed my back with that bat. He apologized, but that's fine. It was a lot of barbed wire.
Mm-hmm.
We had to be very careful, though. Yeah, I think Carnage was present now at this time when he stopped the match.
Yep.
Until Pyro, he got the victory, because I think this is the best of 7 series now. Yeah, I think this is one of the best of 7 series matches.
And then anniversary show, you and Pyro again?
Dog collar.
Bring
the hardcore.
Okay. How was that match?
Okay. We had a way too long of a chain. Fans didn't really bring winning weapons. It was okay.
What about so now you had do you remember the 7 matches that you had?
Yep. We had a regular match where I beat him.
Yep.
He beat me in a submissions count anywhere match.
Okay.
He made me tap in front of the fans because they hated me.
Mm-hmm.
The Massacre was the third match because he went up because I won the first and he was just going to beat me 4-1. That was the idea. So we were up to 2-1. Then he won the dog collar match. Then I re-aggravated my shoulder. And I think this is where you were on break as a booker. Mm-hmm. Billy just told me to take time off, not to risk, the injury. And then Pyro was in the ladder match. And then I cost Pyro the ladder match that year. Pulled him down. He chased me. That was the end of the Doomsday. That was it for it.
Then we had Body Bag match at Lord of the Ring. Was there another one before that?
Yep. Lord of the Ring was we build up to the Body Bag. I beat him in the Body Bag because Pyro said I should go over. It's my first special win. I think we both took each other out at Lord of the Ring that year. Then the last week of March, we had a breakthrough match, best of 5.
And you put him through everything, right?
Yep. 10-second match.
Yep.
And then we went to Legacy where he beat me 4-3, which wasn't even part of the plan.
Cemetery, is this another Cemetery
Cemetery
Treats?
Treats, 3.
So this would be the 3rd Cemetery Treats match. The 7th match that you had with Pyro.
Yeah.
The 3rd Legacy in a row you had with Pyro.
Yep.
And the culmination of like a 2.5 to 3 year feud.
Yep.
Describe a little bit about your mindset going into that Legacy, what you thought about the match, and the feud with Pyro.
Oh, my mindset, my mind was not due to outside reasons, wasn't all the way there.
Yep.
There was a chance that I might have had to not do it because of family things. Tara was pregnant. We lost the kid, so our mind wasn't there.
Right.
But I told Pyro I would be there and, do the job because that's the kind of guy I am. The match was fine, we had indie stars there that night. That enjoyed the match. It seemed like they were all in it. Tasers. First time ever using a taser in a wrestling match.
What was that like?
I was in a body bag, so it felt okay. Body bag again, trash cans, lots of weapons.
Yeah.
Boards, barbed wire, you name it, we did it.
So, finally finishing up the feud with Pyro.
Yeah.
Relief?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's nice.
Could you have gotten another 3 years?
Yes, we can. If he wants to do it, he can test. He knows how to get a hold of me.
And then after that, we move on to Annihilation. You ended up fighting for the Pure title.
Yes.
You and Derek Simonetti and Shane White.
Yes.
What was it like working with Derek Simonetti?
It was nice. You know, he like stiffed me twice and he apologized, and I'm like, I don't care, man. Very good worker. I learned from him and Shane. I had fun.
And then Apocalypse?
I attacked Shane to make the challenge for Newton.
Yep.
And Troy, myself, and Shane and Newton. Shane beat me. And then I had a little small angle with Shane. Lumberjack match turned into a 6-mat. Beat me again.
Now, working with Shane and Troy again, because
Yeah.
it was a while since you've worked with them. I know you worked.
I haven't really worked with Shane that much, so.
Yeah. So what was it like? I mean, all right, then how about Troy? Because Troy had left for a while.
Yeah.
Did a lot of his own independent wrestling stuff.
Yep.
Did you see a difference when he came back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Much different, you know. He learned a lot on the road, you know. You do. I know. I learned things too.
Yep.
Working with Shane, who was training too, you know, you learn things from him, you know.
Mhm.
He goes every week, I think, still. I can't confirm that. Much difference between them and then what they were before.
And then the last thing you did from from when this is going to air, the last thing you did was you fought Inferno at Hellbound, which is one of the newest people in Hellbound, in a street fight.
Yep.
You went over, you beat him.
Yes. Shortest match of the night.
Shortest match of the night. And then you end up jumping into the Hellbound match.
Yep.
You, Calum, Destro, and Delilah.
Yep.
Calum got taken out, sent to the hospital.
Yep.
Came down to you and Destro. Destro defeated you.
Yeah.
On
the fly call him.
That's it. And now, what would you say? Because we have the Annihilation anniversary show coming up, which means that we're close to Legacy.
Yeah.
What is on the horizon for Rocko? What else is there? Is there anything left to do and accomplish in WAW for Rocko?
To do? Oh, man. Yeah. I'm going to be a 2-man Dynasty chip. It's the one thing I have left. Oh, I still have to win Doomsday Championship and Legacy to catch up to FO and Shady, you know.
Right.
I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
But you've done everything else.
Yeah.
Won every other title.
Yep.
Presidency.
Main event every special.
Of course. Main event every special.
Yep. Yeah, there's nothing left except for doing that. Psycho, you hearing this? You know you want to drop raise.
Is there anybody that you haven't worked in WAW that you would like to? In all of history? Because I'm sure you've probably worked.
I gotta think.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I've worked with everybody that's ever stepped foot in WAW.
Yeah. There's people that haven't worked you that want to work you, I'm sure.
Yeah, there probably is.
All right, so you've had a match with everybody.
Oh, Freakin. I want to retire his ass for good. I want to break his other hip.
All right. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about outside wrestling ventures.
Oh, here we go.
Non-WW stuff. I know the first one that I can remember is NLP.
Yeah.
No Limit Pro.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you did that night when we had that NLP show?
Yeah, we did a battle royal. FO and Gino won.
Yep.
That night, sick Jersey, myself, and Lynn Oddity teamed up against Payback.
That's right.
Yep. Marsh, Dangerous, and Staples. Dealer broke the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
I had to cut a promo. Loud. Thank God I can scream.
Yeah.
And Lynn Oddity beat Staples or Marsh because he's paid talent.
Yeah.
So he went over. That was weird. Fun.
Now talk about some other ventures.
I worked Vermont due to Stelina. Pretty funny stuff. She got booked in Vermont. She's like, "You gonna come with me?" I jokingly said no because that's what I'd like to do to her. And then I told her I was gonna go with her no matter what. So we went. I got booked against Riddles. Yeah, that's fun. Pay's not that great, but we got paid.
Sure. What's the name of that company?
ETWA.
Okay.
But yeah, we got paid. We done that a few times. The last time I went there was July with Pyro, or Michael, whatever you want to call him now. We kind of formed a team that only teamed up once because his partner retired from wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
We made event that night. Lost. Didn't get any heat, but we lost. Because some people screwed up the match and we didn't get to work heat at all.
All right.
I don't want to talk about that. Chad. Worked with Chad Rated R.
Rated R show, yep.
Did 2 of those shows.
That's probably something right up your alley. Hardcore
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Made it into the first one.
Yep.
With Pyro.
That's right. Was that when it was a superplex?
Superflex through the barbed wire, whatever Chad found. I beat him.
Yep.
Fought Conway in the chairs match.
Mm-hmm.
I took a move that I never thought I could take, the flying castle or Spanish flying castle, or you hook the guy like a rock bottom and you do the backflip.
Oh, the Spanish fly. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did that and never thought I could do that into chairs.
Okay. Did Conway go over there?
Conway went over.
Sure.
Didn't work the last one, which I was asked to. Could have fought Ron Marsh in a death match. I worked Chad's Gloucester show.
Oh, okay. Tell us about that.
Did a battle royal.
Okay. Nice.
Did a battle royal. Played Ecuador for him for that night. For like 2 minutes.
Okay. And then recently...
Ecuador had a higher spot in that card than I did.
Well, that's because Ecuador grew up in Gloucester.
Well, yeah, well... No.
I mean, he's from Ecuador.
Yeah.
Recently, is it OCW?
Yeah. Yes, I'm the heavyweight champion there.
Yeah.
Kick Dick in the dick.
What was the final match?
Me versus Dick Light.
Oh, okay, all right.
Beat Dick with the low blow, or I kicked him in his PP, like he likes to say.
And how do you like the feel of studio tapings?
It was different.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. I worked Dirty Dan in the first round. We had a 5-star match where I raked him and pinned him. I think it made Todd leave that night because he was upset. He's like, "You're gonna make him reshoot." And Freight Train, who runs it, said no. I don't know if that's true or not. I thought it was a funny story if that was the case.
Yep.
I fought Pyro in the second round. Made him tap, or no, I pinned him, and then I fought Dick.
Awesome.
Should have wrestled the kid this year, but outside problems happened.
Rhode Island? Did you do an...
Nova. I did Nova.
Yeah, we were in that. Yeah.
I forgot about Nova. Nova shut down quick this year.
Nova shut down quick. We had a match. It was Rocko versus myself versus Pyro / McManus versus Bloody Bill Vox.
Yeah.
One of the quickest matches I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
And I think the match was only 4 minutes long, but it was everybody got their stuff in.
Yeah.
High spots, signature frenzy, finisher frenzy.
Yeah.
The finish was German suplex to you, German suplex to Pyro, German suplex to Flax for the bridge, and that was it.
Yeah.
Did you work any other Nova shows?
I worked a few. I had a kind of a mini feud with Conway. He was the live wire champion there.
Yep. Any other ventures that I can't think of?
That sounds about right for me.
Okay, so now we're going to have some ending questions. We're going to talk about some favorites and non-favorites, and then we're going to have some word association, and we'll wrap up this.
We're going to make people cry now? That's
plus
what we're going to do?
Maybe. All right, Rocko.
Okay.
Favorite, least favorite food?
Favorite food? I love mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Least favorite? I hate fish.
All right. Puma said the same thing, actually, yeah. Favorite and least favorite drink? Doesn't have to be alcoholic. It can if you want it to be.
Favorite? I drink Pepsi. I get yelled at by the wife craziness for drinking too much.
Mm-hmm.
Least favorite? I don't like Dr. Pepper. I hate Dr.
That's mine. I hate Dr. Pepper, dude. All right. Favorite, least favorite movie?
My favorite movie? Oh, man, this has changed so many times. I guess I'll stick with The Dark Knight.
Awesome.
Probably one of the better Batman movies.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Least favorite movie? I don't hate a lot of movies.
You do have a lot of movies.
Yeah, I don't hate a lot. Let's go with Beethoven 4 because I've been seeing a lot of that because of my niece lately.
Beethoven 4, okay. And then how about a favorite group, band, artist, musical act?
I love Korn.
Awesome. Favorite TV show?
Psych.
You were a fan of Dexter as well.
I do love Dexter.
And they got the Psych movie coming up.
I know, I can't wait.
Yeah.
December 7th.
How about favorite non-fictional character? Good guy and bad guy. An example that I would use, for me, Captain America and Freddy Krueger. Those are my favorite fake good guy, fake bad guys.
Okay. Good guy, probably Batman. It's a tie with Wolverine, but I'll go Batman.
Okay.
Bad guy, I love Two-Face. I have a tattoo on him, so yeah, I'm gonna go Two-Face.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite person?
In real life?
In real life?
You're gonna put me on the spot. Oh, there's too many people to name. I can't pick between people.
I think you can.
Who am I supposed to pick here?
I was going to assume you're going to pick your daughter.
I could. I love you. Yeah, I'd pick my baby guy.
Okay.
Right. That's too tough, though. I love Psycho and you and Jeff, Vinny.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
It's hard to pick.
Now, what's the best advice you were ever given?
Best of, oh my lord. Listen and shut up when you're at a wrestling show.
One of those eyes open,
Yep.
mouth closed kind of deals?
Yep.
What about best advice you can give?
For wrestling,
Wrestling life in general,
for wrestling, for new people like in WWE, ask questions. I ask questions when I'm at shows, like when I did Chad's Gloucester show. When I talk to some people, I ask advice. Best thing to do in life. Oh man, this is not. I'm the worst person to ask about life right now. I have nothing really for life because I don't listen to my own advice.
Do you have a favorite theme that you've had as far as wrestling goes? Because you've had a lot of themes in WWE history.
I do. I love Fozzy.
Love Fozzy? Okay. I'm always partial to the, obviously the Trick or Treat remix, Halloween HTR remix, but I also loved the Asylum theme.
I do love the sound, like Richard Asylum.
Yeah, that was always great. Do you have a favorite moment in wrestling, non-WW, favorite moment in wrestling?
Benoit and Eddie hugging at WrestleMania.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And a least favorite?
Maybe give Roman winning the title from Triple H.
Yeah.
He didn't need it.
All right. Now, is there a favorite match that you've seen live?
Oh, yeah. I think it was when Benoit and Angle were team chips, and they lost to Eddie and Chavo in Manchester, or somebody.
Edge and Ray?
Edge and Ray, yeah.
2 out of 3 falls tag team match.
Yeah.
That was a great match.
I'm trying to remember who they lost. I thought it was Eddie and Chavo, but...
Yeah. Now, what about a favorite match you haven't seen live? If you could have a favorite match that you're like, you know what, you're just gonna
Eddie Benoit Angle match.
Eddie Benoit Angle match? Awesome. All right, more WWE stuff. Favorite moment in WAW that you have been a part of?
For me or anybody?
For you. It could be anybody as long as you were a part of it. You know what I mean?
Oh man, favorite moment. I do. Shady retiring this year was pretty good.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna say them winning belts. I'm gonna be the opposite. I'll probably go with Shady retiring. I was out there watching them.
Okay. Is there a favorite moment that you haven't been a part of?
No, I think I was around for most of them.
Puma said the entire 2007 year because he wasn't there for any of it. And he's like, there were so many people I wanted to work.
I've been around. I've seen a lot of people come and go, so...
Yeah.
A lot of moments. I watch a lot of moments.
True. Okay, how about top 5 favorite matches? No order.
Top 5.
No order.
Trick or Treat 9 with Sin.
Yep.
Sane and me at APOC when I won the belt from him. Cemetery Treats with Pyro. Trick or Treat 13. I had a match with Psycho, and it wasn't a hardcore match. We actually wrestled it. I don't remember when. It was really good.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember. It was
match.
just like a random match, I think.
Yeah.
Might have been just, hey, what, you guys had nothing to do or something like that.
Okay. Now, how about top 5 favorite feuds? Again, no order. The top 5 biggest rivalries in Rocko's career.
Probably you. Vinny has to be up there.
Yep.
Feuded with him like all my career.
Mm-hmm.
Pyro now, his 3 years. 3 more years, Pyro. 3 more years. Jersey, feuding with him all the time. Maybe Billy. Put Billy up there.
Okay. So we're just going to wrap it up with some word association. I'm going to say a person's name, and you say the first word or phrase that comes to mind. Moops.
Okay.
All right. Vempriss.
Tough bitch.
Gino.
Crazy.
Puma.
Lovable.
CBZ.
Lovable.
Toxic.
Who?
Jersey Devil.
Fun.
Dirty Dealer.
Awesome.
Bill Box.
Great guy.
FO.
Great guy.
Staples.
Amazing.
Pyro.
I love him.
Falcon.
Great guy. Well, when I see him.
Johnny Psycho.
Brother.
Chad Epic.
Great guy.
Kevin Giles.
Nice guy.
Delilah Hayden.
Mean punches. No, great girl. Great work.
No, mean punches out. Yeah.
I taught her how to punch.
Yeah. Christian Sane.
Love him.
Kevin Chaos.
Love him. It's gonna be all love right now.
Q Chaos.
Didn't really work with him much, but good guy.
Okay. Troy Garbo.
Great guy.
Buck DeRoss.
Funny man.
Chateau Banian.
Great guy.
Nachos Belgrande.
What? I don't see him that often anymore. I paid him money and he took off of my check.
Ecuador.
Ecuador?
Inkblot.
What the hell's an ink blot?
Inkblot. Chris McColes.
Don't Didn't work with him much, but it seems like a nice guy.
Shane White.
Very talented.
Derek Simonetti.
Nice guy all around.
Jack Kruger.
Been on one show with him, but he seems like a nice guy to me when I went on that one show.
Red Guy.
Very knowledgeable when it comes to reffing.
Sage.
Oh, Twinkies. That's who loved Sage.
Dave Destro.
Dave Destro. Guy hit me with the kendo stick, that asshole. No, nice guy.
Kayla Manson.
How's your eye doing? No, he's very nice. I haven't got to work him yet, but he seems very nice.
Eva Lee.
Good guy.
Bianca Wild.
Worked with her like a couple times, but she seems tough. You guys did dislocate my shoulders in that match and pop them back in.
It's true. Stelina.
Oh shit, am I gonna get in trouble? I love her.
Rob Vituli.
Good worker, great knowledge.
Carnage.
Oh, that old bastard. He likes to eat ass, I heard. I see it on Facebook. I don't know if it's true.
It's true. Dan Ruckus.
I heard he loves to eat ass too, but the 5 seconds I worked with him, it was awesome.
Okay. Jay Thrash.
He seems like he has an attitude problem and quit on an angle before I even came back.
Rias.
Very nice guy.
Grim.
When he doesn't do Germans, he's a nice guy.
Moody Star.
It's been a while since I've seen Moody. Very nice lady. Don't want to say any come super kick me.
Nick Rage.
Love him. Can we just have him cut promos every week? And that's the whole show?
Freight Train.
Oh, dude, he's so good. Knowledgeable.
CIA.
CIA? Just from talking to him, they seem very good. I enjoyed most of their matches.
Barry Ace.
Very soft-spoken.
Yeah. Alice in Chains.
I won't be mean to her. Tries hard. I'll give her that.
MKK.
Very nice guy.
Steve's. Whether it's Steve Evolution or Middlesex.
Oh, love him. I got the rest of them as breaking for Ecuador at House of Bricks. That's who I worked for.
Oh, House of Bricks.
Yeah.
Talk about House of Bricks, yeah.
Yeah, I worked with Coles or somebody as a tag team because their team dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
We fought him. It was fun. I fucked up a lot, but it was fun.
Gabby Lipstrong.
Oh, I love Mama Stitches. That's my new mama.
Rob Marsh.
Rob Marsh, I know he's been wanting to fight me in a death match, so yeah, I love him. Seems like him and Billy are doing well together.
Michael James.
It's been many years since I've seen him, so when he was around, nice guy, great to get along with. You know you want to come back.
Rocko.
Myself? Douchebag.
Well, then that concludes the end of the podcast, Rocko. Thank you very much for being on this 2.5, maybe 3